going to Just Chatting right now, and we're live. Hello, everyone. Hi. So,
hi everybody.
As a word of intro, this is Keezy. We have not kept we have cheered each other on from the sidelines for 2 years, but we have not like hung out in like 2 years.
True. I think the last time we hung out, I gave you a tarot reading.
Yes. Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my god. And that was like months after our collab, and
Yes.
yeah. Oh my god.
The underscore Dandy
Yeah, and
underscore
there
Did it
were
come
like
true?
technical difficulties. Yeah, actually, it did. Yeah, because you were like,
Amazing.
you're gonna make it big as a VTuber, and I was like, I'm absolutely not. I'm not even trying for that. And then, yeah, the universe is like that. So, hi Raiders. Yeah. So, Kizzy was my first collab ever. She literally taught me what a fugi is. What else? Oh, I approached you very inappropriately at the time. I didn't know like VTuber etiquette, and I just like I saw it. At this point, you guys need to understand she was a literal raccoon. Like her model, she wasn't like a pretty raccoon girl. She was an actual raccoon. Yeah. That was her model. And I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And so I wrote to her on Twitter and I was like, hello, I like your content. I would like to collab. Like just like the most like baby VTuber type message. And instead of just like ignoring it, she was like, yes, I will collab with you.
I was like, you're adorable. Let me squish your teeth.
For this, I will owe you my life forever.
No, you do not owe me your life.
Dude, no, I do though. Because like, I now know how often you get those messages, and like, Christ, dude. You said yes to me. Why did you say yes? Nightlight Wizard, thank you so much for 3 months. Dandy Man, thank you so much for the gifted sub. And thank you, Kira.
I don't consider myself a big VTuber, and I like making connections and talking with people in the community. So that's really what it was. Just you were awesome. I liked your vibe. I stopped in. You were singing and stuff then too, and that was it. I was like, heck yeah. Let's do it. God. Let's do the darn thing.
My mic was so echoey. That was when I was like in a big empty room. It was like a studio apartment that was like shaped like a brick, and I hadn't put up any posters or like furniture because I was just living like a little bachelor boy. And I had like a not even Yeti, like an off-brand Yeti. It was like a $40 microphone. It was really bad, and it just picked up all the echoey noise in the room. It just sounded like I was in some kind of wind tunnel. I don't know how you even understood me on that collab.
Yeah, and we played observation duty is what we did.
Yeah, and I was
yapped
terrible
for a little
at
bit,
it.
and we did nothing.
You carried me like I was a princess through that entire game.
My lady.
Oh my god, we've both come so far. Look at you. You're like a real person now and not a raccoon.
I have a body now. Yeah. It's crazy. Although I'm sure somebody at some point will redeem something to turn me back into a raccoon, so don't worry about it.
I didn't even know that was an option. Can I redeem that? Can I have that as like a gift?
I will give it to you for free. How about that?
Thank you. I live and die for this.
There it is.
Wait, where is it?
The original form. Did it not come up?
It's not coming up yet. Maybe it's
no.
There.
You sure you want to load this money? Yeah, there it is. Okay,
wait.
It might swap really quick. Hold on. Yeah, I'll be right back. Don't panic.
Guys, look at this.
Do my hotkeys still work on this? Hold on. Oh, they do.
Oh my god, you got snacks! You brought snacks!
Yeah. Let me see. My favorite is... God, where is it? Which is the hotkey? Here we go.
Yes!
Here we go. Okay, so there's this. Oh, my tail's going a little crazy. But if I do this, look at my nanner!
Oh my god! Yeah, no, when you switched models, you traded the banana physics for the boob physics, and
for the boob and the thigh physics.
Yeah. And some would say that's a fair trade, but I just want to remember what we've lost.
Know that we lost this.
Your model is gorgeous, though. I remember when you put out the model trailer on Twitter, and I was like shaken to my core. I was like looking at, because the preview it was like, wake up, Keezy, and then it was like your eyes opened and you were like a pretty anime girl, and I was like, whoa, oh my god.
Really, the tail is my favorite part of this model.
The tail is
it's so
so
floopy.
good. They really captured Raccoon in a way that I like a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shout out to my designer, Lena. She's amazing. So I actually had a character designer first before I reached out to my model artist.
Oh my gosh.
And I basically gave her a PDF with like actresses and what have you to like use as a reference, and I had to take a picture of my arm so we could match the skin tone. Also, fun fact, my hair was actually colored this way IRL when Keezy was designed. So that's the inspiration for the hair.
Yeah, dude, you've posted some pictures of you on like of like fit pics and stuff, and you look so much like your model.
That was the goal.
That was my goal too. Like Dory like based the little smiles and everything on me, and like I very strongly I insisted that this model have no boob at all, because like, listen, I wanted to cosplay at some point. I wanted to be able to dress up as me, and I didn't want to have to like pad my chest when I did, because that's so depressing. I hate that part. It's like so uncomfortable when you're like dressing up as someone and you have to pad your chest. So I was just like, no, if I'm being me, I'm not gonna have to do that.
Yeah. At some point, I might redesign the model so her chest matches mine IRL. This way, I have to buy like boob prosthetics.
That's not your real life. You don't have back pain every second.
I do not have quadruple E's, double C's IRL. I don't. I'm sorry, chat.
No, man, our dreams are crushed. I don't even know what to believe anymore. Women are liars on the internet. I thought that everything I saw on the internet was 100% real.
If the men find out, they're going to call the church.
Next thing you're gonna tell me you're not really anime. That would break me. That would destroy me.
I would never tell you that.
Thank you.
I'm also truly a raccoon that lives in a dumpster. So
yeah. I am a robot.
I am a robot.
It's gotta be true.
You have like a little charging port, like right under your ear that you sleep with.
Actually, it's wireless and it's on the back of my neck. So get it right, Easy. Get it right.
I'm sorry.
It's like
I'm not
you
hip
haven't
with
even
the jive of the
reviewed
new
my
tech.
character sheet.
Actually.
Yeah, your tail is incredible. It's like, it's so... Oh my god!
One of my favorite things about my model, besides the tail, is the rigger I chose, Boogie, shouts out. I love that she does like the shoulder shimmy. So
yes, that's
like my favorite, part of the rigging is just the shoulders.
Oh my god, I'm like trying to turn... I'm trying to mute my microphone for a second to thank someone, and I accidentally started an activity. I'm like, someone's dad in here. Okay.
I'll be completely honest with you.
So much for
I don't care if you mute your mic. Feel free to talk to the chat. Open. Absolutely.
You were the person
we gotta share chat. I see what's going... Yeah, I know. But I'm not one of those... There's a lot of people who don't like it. I don't care.
You were literally the person who was like, and sometimes you'll want to mute your mic when you thank people, because otherwise, sometimes they don't like that. You were the person who gave me. I'm like trying to figure out how to get your big fluffy tail out of my face.
I can put it down.
No, I love it though.
Oh, okay. I'll put it back.
Bring it back. I need it. Thank you.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Yeah, I would never tell you to turn off the tail. Although I'm glad that is a toggle. It never occurred to me before, but I guess it's got to be really necessary. I know that like it's a thing when you have wings that it's just like really annoying in collabs. Like designs with wings go so hard, but if you have them, it's over for you.
It's so Jover. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like, I sometimes feel like my model is maybe a little too basic, but I like her like this.
Basic?
Like, I like her
No.
simplistic.
No, dude, it's so recognizable. You have a color palette that basically no one else has. You have like very recognizable tattoos. Your outfit is like simple, but I don't actually know another outfit like it on a VTuber, you know? Like the three gold pieces. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think of you as like, I don't think of your design as that simple at all. Like, it's really, right?
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's like,
fun fact.
Extremely
the tattoo on the
recognizable.
neck
Yeah?
is a real sigil. That is an actual sigil that I created for the lore.
What'd it do?
So in the lore, Kizi's bloodline has been cursed by a witch because her chieftain ancestor tried to outsmart the witch, and obviously it didn't work. So the sigil is actually a curse mark that essentially stands for becoming the true monster that you are. And eventually, in the lore, that monster, over time, as you know, they reproduced, ended up mating with raccoons, and that's how we ended up getting a raccoon cross. Which is why one day I woke up and I was like, "Whoa! I have a body now."
Oh my god, I love that like your lore isn't like girl turned raccoon, it's raccoon turned girl.
Yeah.
That feels so
100%.
authentic to my experience.
I didn't ask to have legs. I just wanted to stay in my garbage can.
None of us asked to have legs, but here we are. Garbage canless. Forced to navigate the world in pants.
Oh, gross pants.
Yeah, dude. I wore pants all day today. I was very brave. When I wear pants all day, I do come home feeling like I deserve a little bit of a medal, like maybe a cookie or something, like a gold star.
So I saw today on TikTok some girl described it as hard clothes, which is like jeans and a bra, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's so accurate. It is hard clothes.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I get home, I just want soft clothes.
Yeah, I don't do hard clothes for the most part. I have jeans, but they're like so big that my legs can't find them. I wear enormous jeans and I am a small person, and so I'm lost in there. They might as well not be there. I don't but there is so much distance betwixt me and the jeans.
You must get a wonderful breeze though.
Yeah, it's delightful. But I do look like a cool boy from the 80s, so you know.
There is nothing wrong with that.
And then as far as bras go, I don't think I've ever I like twice in my life have worn a proper underwire bra, which like to what end? Like that at that point, like for what purpose even? And it was so uncomfortable. I don't really wear them either. How does anyone do that on a daily basis? Like, Jesus. Hammer, thank you so much for 5 gifted. Like, does anyone actually wear like an underwire bra? Like one of them like $50 bras on a daily basis?
Dude, I don't anymore. The only time I wear a bra now is when I'm horseback riding, and it's a sports bra.
Yeah. I wear sports bras. But like, God, like a real one? Ugh, no. I forgot you ride horses. Don't you have like the absolute like technomad dream situation? Like, don't you like work full time and like you horses?
Yeah, so I own a horse.
VTuber?
Yeah, I do all of the things. I've lived a very eclectic life for pretty much all 32 years I've been on this planet. So my horse is across the street from me, which is very, very cool. And I train them, I ride them, and I just got an equine facilitated learning certification. So I'm starting a horse business this year.
Horse business.
So
I love the image of a horse business. I'm just imagining all the horses in their business suits.
Yeah, in their ties and their little
going
glasses.
To horse business. What is a horse business?
So the business specifically I'm doing is equine facilitated learning. So a lot of people confuse it with like horse therapy, which is the same but different. I like to explain it.
Therapy for horses or therapy from horses?
Therapy from horses. And there's two ways that you can do therapy from horses, and that's groundwork and ridden work. So there's physical therapy in the riding portion of it. But in the groundwork portion, it's a lot of talk therapy and essentially translating how the horse's interactions with each other, their environment, and you are coming up. So as the client speaks about that, the therapist or whoever's facilitating the conversation will like kind of dig. So what I do is more akin to like a coach rather than therapy, because I am not a medical professional. So a good example would be, I take you out to the horse field and I say, well, what are you noticing about the horses? And you're like, well, they seem really peaceful. And I kind of relate to that one that's a little further in the back, because even though he's off doing his own thing, he's not actually alone. He's in the field with the rest of the herd. So it's like being able to still be a part of something while doing something on your own.
Yeah.
So I might ask something like, well, is there an instance where that shows up in your life? Or how do you think the horse feels about that? Or, just asking those types of exploratory questions to get you to think a little bit more internally and kind of find your own answers, if that comes across.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. That makes perfect sense. And like, do people do this after they already, like, they spent their whole life around horses, they ride horses, and now they're getting horse therapy? Or is this like a first time around the horses kind of deal?
No horse experience needed, honestly. It's a lot of people will do it just for, like I said, it can be a therapeutic experience, but it's not always therapy. Because it's nice to just be outside without an agenda and just be around the animals, especially because farm and it's pretty and all that. But there's also some skills that you can use that you can learn. So we might do activities where like we have an obstacle course that I'll ask you to build and then ask you to pick a horse and lead it through. And as you're going through that process, you're engaging with the horse and still kind of identifying those things that resonate with you. So again, it's a lot that goes into it, but also it's very simple.
Dude, I love horse. I want to meet a horse so bad. I didn't know that horses were real until I was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8, somewhere in there.
Shouldn't be. I love them, but they should not be real.
They don't look real. Like, and we have like Pegasus. That's not real. Unicorn. That's not real. Why would I have assumed that a horse was real? That's the funniest friggin' deer in the whole world.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So I have a lot of useless horse facts. When horses run, they don't actually breathe on their own. They can't. So what happens is
the thudding just like thuds the air out of them?
Yeah. Yes, the movement from them running forces their diaphragm up and out, and that's what causes their lungs to expand manually, because they're not actually breathing when they run.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got more horse facts on you?
I have so many horse facts. Okay, so horses cannot see directly in front of them or behind them. So I'm going to describe this and hopefully everybody can figure this out. I want you to take your hands and put them in like circles, right?
Okay.
Like you're going to look through them like binoculars.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm ready.
You're going to cross your wrists so that way the backs of your hands are facing, and then put that up to your eyes.
Oh.
That's how horses see.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. So they're just really guessing when it gets up close, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they can be really clumsy with their feet if you're super close to them, because they really just only have that peripheral. Oh. And they have like a pretty far back they can see, but they can't see directly in front of them. They can't see directly underneath them or behind them.
Baby. Oh my God.
You'll
so
also notice. You'll also notice that if a horse is checking something out, it'll like put its head down and kind of tilt And that's why it's tilting, so it can look at it. So
I always just
like,
thought they were
they just,
skeptical and
lean-
expressive.
That's what it looks like for sure, but it's just so they can see it better.
Dude, this is like when I found out the face that cats make when they look really disgusted with you is actually the Flamin' response, and it's literally just like they're pulling their lips back so that they can smell you. I did not know. I thought that cats were just very expressive and frequently disgusted with us.
I mean, there's probably some truth to that.
Yeah, they are pretty expressive, and I don't know if Ollie's ever been disgusted with me, but you know, I don't know.
No, I'm sure there are some cats that are like that. What I love about cats is that they've adapted to us being humans. So cats are not typically vocal creatures, but they're very vocal with us as humans because they think we're dumb, and that's why they bring us
They're right.
dead animals when they
dumb.
hunt. Yeah, they're like, oh, you're like a big dumb kitten. You can't hunt for yourself, and you don't understand me, so I'm just going to yell at you and throw things at you to eat.
Ollie's never brought me a gift. I think just because he's too hungry. Like, if he gets something, that's his. He's not saving any for me.
Mine bring me toys. They like to play fetch.
Yeah, Ollie will play some fetch. But you know.
That's kind of like a gift. It's like low-key hunting, low-stress hunting.
Low stress hunting, yeah. He mostly hunts bugs. That's his favorite thing to hunt. I live in a nicer building now, so he doesn't have as many cockroaches to hunt, but he used to love that. That was his favorite. He was so disappointed, I imagine, when we moved here, and there's no cockroaches to hunt.
I took in a stray cat. She's this beautiful calico. I named her Anya, and she was wild. She used to climb the door frames, and she had a vertical on her that was insane. So anytime there's a bug on the ceiling, she'd just parkour up the wall and just smack it into oblivion.
Oh my
Expired
god!
_milk01
On the
gift
ceiling!
01 sub to Duke.
On the ceiling, like that's not a joke. She would run up the wall and jump off of the top of the wall and just.
Thank you so much for the gifted sub. I'm not a quiet cat girl. Thank you so much for 6 months.
It's great.
God, Ollie has figured out how to open the door coming into my bedroom, but not how to open the door going out of it. And he likes to like scratch on the door, which means that he'll he'll open the door, he'll come in here, he'll scratch the door closed, and then he'll decide he wants to leave, and he'll just scream at me until I let him out.
I love that.
Yeah.
One of my other cats, his name was Parker, and he knew how doors worked in theory.
Me too.
So when he wanted to like go out of a door, he would like stand up and tap the doorknob and then yell. Or he would put his paw under the door and then just like violently shake it. And he would do it sometimes at 2 a.m, so it sounded like somebody was trying to break into the bedroom.
Dude, when I'm in the bathroom, I close the door because I'm not trying to have like a buddy in there. But Ollie will like put his paw under the door, just like he's trying to hold my hand. He'll just have his paw under the door for an extended period of time. He's not just like reaching under there. He's just like, hold my hand.
Does he go like shoulder deep?
Yeah, he's like shoulder deep,
Of course.
just like whole arm in the room.
Mother!
Yeah, he has such a little like whiny meow. I love it so much. It's just like, meow. Like he's so upset with me. There's like a descending tone. It's so good. It's so good. I love him.
That's so cute. I love chatty cats. They're my favorite.
Is your sweet baby not chatty?
Oh, my beans do not stop yelling at me.
Good.
All the time. There is not a moment of silence in this house, and if there is, it's because they're both sleeping. Sometimes Hal will go into the kitchen and just scream into the void to the point where I'm concerned because I think he's like hurt. And when he hears me get up, he like runs over with like the question mark tail, and he's like, "Oh, Mom, you're paying attention to me? Hi."
Ollie is like he's pretty polite about sitting next to me while I do my work, but he loves to bite, and so I have to like stop him from biting my laptop while I work all the time. I've been working a lot lately, but hopefully soon a little bit less.
Yes.
God bless.
We will cross fingers and send all of the good vibes that you will have to work less.
Thank you. Oh my god. I finally finished the robot. I have to pack it up, and then I have to go to the UK and do all that, which is gonna be fun. I know I'm whining about nothing. We're almost out of crunch at work. I finished my piece of it. We're gonna test it tomorrow, and then if that works, I am out of crunch at work. And I have to produce a song for someone, and I have to also produce a song for me. But once I'm done with that and my taxes, I'm done, and I can finally
thank you for reminding me.
sleep. Yeah, dude, VTuber taxes are actually the worst. And no one knows how to do them. You can't like go to an accountant and be like, "Hi, do you know what anime is?"
Hello, I pretend to be a raccoon on the internet, and people give me money. Tell the government.
Yeah, tell the government how much money people give me for being anime.
It's always awful when I need to switch tax people because of that, because then I have to go through the whole spiel again.
Wait,
and
you
some of them
go to
ask
someone?
questions and some of them don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm real bad with numbers.
Dude, I'm kind of
I'm
jealous.
real bad.
I should. I think this is the last year where I'm doing all of my taxes myself. Also, the fact that I like, God, it's just so much to handle this year. And it's not even just, it's also like telling the government how much I spend to be an anime girl. It's not just telling the government how much I make being an anime. It's also how much I spend. And I think that that's almost more embarrassing. Like, it's really embarrassing to be like, hi, I spent $5,000 to look anime.
Hello, IRS. Yes, I did spend $2,000 on art for my anime self.
Yeah.
This year.
But look how pretty the art is, huh?
Don't you love it? Just including that with my tax documents.
Some guy at the IRS. Damn, that's a good price. Yeah, that's real though.
Oh my goodness. Oh, hi.
Ooh.
Hello. Thank you. I just realized there's a hype train in my channel. Hello? Thank you for the gifted. I was so in this.
Oh yeah, no, dude, 100%. I've been looking forward to this for so long because I'm a bad friend in a very particular way. Which is like if you have ever been my friend, you know, I'm rooting for you. Like it doesn't matter what goes down. I've got you in my mind. I'm going to check up on you periodically, but not in a way that you're aware of, right? I'm going to read through all of your tweets every once in a while and I'm going to be like, "Man, pretty cool." I'm reposting your stuff, right? I'm keeping up, but at the same time, I don't talk to people. I'm improperly socialized. They never taught me how. I don't like texting. I'm not in anybody's DMs unless they're in mine. I don't do that, man. And so reminds me of afar. Yeah, it's almost like I wrote it or something.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I have shown so many of my friends that song.
Afar? Really? Oh, it's my worst one.
Oh my god. No, I love it.
Dude, wait, I'm honored. Wait, have you heard the new one?
Not yet. It's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I've been so busy.
Oh,
I know that's a terrible excuse that everybody uses.
No,
Oh, gosh.
shut up. You're allowed to be busy. Oh my god.
So I work in learning and development as my day job.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting into our busy season, so my boss just had me put on some pretty
details?
Yes. So I create all of the training for a very large Fortune 500 company, and all of the different business lines within it, including like operations, services, like you name it. If the team does it, I help build it in some capacity.
So wait, what are you what does this mean? Like the trainings, what are they like?
Yeah. So my specific role, I like to consider myself the Swiss Army knife of our learning team because I'm not assigned to a particular group, nor am I assigned to a specific type of work. So I do everything from ideation to intake to creating the actual content, whether that be a PowerPoint or like a facilitation, video editing, audio recording.
Whoa.
Like, if you can think about, I basically am a content creator as my primary job, but my content is focused on adult learning theory and experiential learning, so that way the end users can like do what they need to do.
What are the adults learning? Sorry, you don't have to tell me that.
Mostly sales.
Okay,
but,
so like if I get a job in sales, right? I'm gonna get on that grind. I'm gonna make some sales. ABC, always be selling. Closing. Thank you.
I got you.
I get hired by this company, and they're like, Ellie, you don't even know your ABCs. We got to teach you. I would be watching one of your training videos.
Yeah, probably.
And then
you'd be using a guide to learn, or yeah.
Then I'd be a pro at sales.
Yep. But I also do some other stuff too. So I am QPR certified specifically through my job because we did an employee crisis training. So QPR is an institute that studies suicide, its effects, and how to prevent them.
Oh, whoa.
So we did, I built an employee crisis training for leaders around that. So a bunch of the leaders and pretty much all of our HR partners across the company are now, we call them gatekeeper certified. So they can recognize when an employee is in a crisis, how to intervene, and appropriate ways to follow up.
Is that like, that seems like it would be a big problem in sales. I would definitely be unwell, emotionally unwell if I were in sales.
Oh, for sure. It absolutely can be, especially since like our sales are not just like digital. We also have like brick and mortar stores.
Oh God.
It's a very large company. Like if I gave you guys even a little inkling, you'd be able to immediately figure out where I work.
Well, okay. We'll be more careful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I just won't talk about the products. I can talk about everything else. I just can't really talk about what we do.
Dude, I can't believe that you were a raccoon living blissfully, and now not only do you have legs, also you have to go to work.
I know. It's crazy. I gotta get Teams calls all day. And
You shouldn't have to get Teams calls. You should be able to sit in a trash can and eat chips.
Yes. Gosh, yes. But yeah, I can't complain. My job is very fun. It's very creative. I'm always doing something different, and they give me the flexibility to do things I'm passionate about, like leadership development and that employee crisis training and all that jazz. And horses, which everyone at my job is super excited that I have this certification, even though it literally has nothing to do with what we do at work.
It could. You can make a horse training video.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a trailer and I'll throw all of my horses onto the trailer and drive it out to headquarters.
Yes.
Just have a bunch of horses running around headquarters.
This is what must happen. Oh my god. Dude, I have met a horse but once, and I was told that they were very dangerous and that I had to be very careful.
They can be by accident most of the time.
Yeah. It's hard being so big.
Anything a horse does. Oh gosh, and they're basically like big puppies. And like when I say puppy, I mean puppy. Like you know how when a puppy is running and they're like all goofy and their like paws are going everywhere? Like that's a horse.
God. I desperately want to, because okay, I was at my friend's wedding and they had there was at a farm and there was a horse and we were like running off to go pet all the animals, and you know, you can pet the goats, you can pet the sheep. They were like, you have to be careful when you pet the horse because it'll straight up bite you.
Yes, some horses can be nippy. Some horses just get really excited because they think you have snacks.
Oh man, I relate to that a lot. Yeah, like I'm so sorry I hurt you. I just thought you might have mac and cheese.
Like, oh, is that a hand with food in it? Mulch. The mouth goes before the brain sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we're streamers, so that's our job.
I'm gonna start making my horse stream.
Dude, I wonder if we could do like face capture on horses. Probably freaking not.
It would get a little wonky. Their faces are a little long.
We could probably set something up. I mean, at the very least, to track position, right?
Yeah.
We'd have to do a
If
lot
not,
of the
we'll
work
just put
ourselves.
googly
but-
eyes on their forehead. Oh my goodness. Yes, the long face jokes. Thank you, Chad.
You know what just occurred to me is it's kind of weird that like a cat girl is a girl with cat ears and stuff, but like a horse girl is just a girl who likes horses. That's weird.
That is so valid.
Yeah, like why isn't a horse
Honestly.
girl like? Are there any horse girl VTubers who are like horse girls? Like, is that a? I don't
Yes.
think. Who?
There's one, her name is Maya, and she and I actually DM each other pictures of our IRL horses.
Oh my god.
And there's another one, I can't remember her name. She's got like short brown hair, but there's also a horse girl anime.
Uma Musume? Do you know her?
Yes, that is the anime where these girls are horse girls that are like have ears and tails and they race like track, but they're like race horses and they're
Wait,
named
that's
after
so
actual
cute!
real
Oh
life
my
race horses.
gosh!
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
adorable.
And the winner's circle is not them standing on the podium, it's them doing like an idol performance.
That's so freaking cute. Oh my god, wait, I wanna Darby VT is a horse VTuber. Huh? Wow, there's a lot of them, I guess.
Hmm.
I guess because like, I don't know, like there's a way that inherently as like a VTuber, you're like, I'm like a cat. I'm like cute and dainty, you know? Whereas if it's a horse, you're just like, stop. I've arrived.
Also think about that Otomi game with the horse boy. Have you
Horse
seen
boy?
this?
No, what is this?
Oh my gosh. It's literally a horse anatomically, except the head, instead of being a horse head, it's an anime boy. Oh, Maple, you're sending it? Thank you so much.
I don't like that. That's full of ghosts. That's really haunted and I don't like it. Wait, Fork, is Fork here right now? I can't tell if Fork is here. Fork, if you're here, tell me that you're here because I need to sing you happy birthday. Okay. I'm looking at Maple's messages. We're going to twitter.tv or whatever, x.com. Oh no! Oh, this is really bad to look at, chat. It's really I'm pulling it up on stream. I hate it. I really hate it. It's like, okay, you know how people complain about like centaurs and how it's like that's too much horse or too much human? You know? How it's got like
sure.
2 rib cages?
Yeah.
This is like if someone said about fixing that problem in the most evil way. Just in the wrongest way.
I love that so much. I really do.
How do you feel about, oh no, there's more of them?
I honestly love the idea of this cursed horse boy who like kind of tries to walk like a person.
Oh god, I didn't even picture it moving.
It like he kind of like tries to walk like a person and do things, and I've never played this game. I do have to say I'm very like interested because
This is a sleep
it
paralysis
shows him, like,
demon.
holding things. It is 100%. He's like holding things, but he has hooves. He has hooves.
Ugh. How?
It's so cursed.
Oh shit! Okay, I gotta sing happy birthday to Fork.
Yes.
Do you want me to mute for this or do you not care? Because I will
I don't
be.
care.
Okay, are you sure? Because I'm literally gonna be singing happy birthday. So
It's fine. I don't mind celebrating another March birthday.
wait, you're also
with
a
chat.
March birthday.
Yeah, my birthday was last Saturday.
Oh my god, I missed it. I'm so sorry. I am truly a bad
It's
friend.
okay. No, you're not. You are not a bad friend.
We have not spoken in so long, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was just your birthday. That's crazy. Okay.
We love banjo time.
Yeah, okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fork. Happy birthday to you. Yeah! Also to you, Kizzy. I'm sorry I missed your birthday.
It's okay. It's okay. Honestly, listening to you sing and play instruments is truly a gift.
What?
So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. God. Now in French? Okay. So Fork is French. He's been teaching me some French. And on the way home, I was talking to someone from stream who was like, oh, I could teach you how to sing happy birthday in French. And then you could surprise Fork. And I was like, I freaking can't. I'm not going to learn how to sing a song in French, like on my walk home. I'm not going to do that. And like, it turns out that the version that I was being taught wasn't even like the French happy birthday. There's like a different like Canadian French happy birthday. And the French are very condescending about it, apparently. So yeah, I don't know, man. You can't win. Also, I have to let my stupid cat out of the room. He's screaming right now. I'll be right back. One moment.
Yes, release the child. Happy birthday, Fork! Happy birthday to all the other March babies. Shout out to the Pisces in the house, in the dumpster.
What's Pisces like? What's that deal?
Oh, it's an emotional roller coaster of spite.
Oh, because that's one of the wet ones, right? There's like the wet ones, and then there's the dirt ones.
Oh, we're two fish tied together by the tails.
Water signs, that's what I mean, yeah.
No, I'm gonna call them the wet ones from now on.
I think
the
I'm
wet ones, the hot ones, the dirt ones.
I'm a Libra, I think.
Ooh, Libras are cool.
What's that deal?
I'm a Libra rising. Libra is mostly about balance. So when we talk about astrology, there's a lot that goes into it. A lot of people know their sun sign, which actually isn't you per se. Your sun sign is basically how you're perceived, whereas your rising sign is more in line with like how you are internally.
Wait,
and then
I have
your
this
moon
saved
sign,
somewhere. Let me see, because I have my whole deal, but I don't know
yes.
what it means. What's the stupid app that everybody had for a minute?
I have time passages,
CoStar!
and then people use that, and they also use Astro Cafe.
Okay, you. Okay, so I'm a Libra. My moon is Aquarius, and I'm a Leo rising. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. So each of those things is a different aspect of your personality. So like I said, your sun is how you are perceived. And I'm going to just preface this by saying I'm not an expert in astrology. I tried to learn it and it is too much. So take what I say with a grain of salt. It's so complicated. So your sun sign is how you're perceived by others. Your rising sign is more aligned with who you actually are internally. Your moon sign is how you deal with emotions, both internally and externally. So when you have a sign in each of those places, you're basically taking those characteristics and applying it to that aspect of your personality. So perfect example, I'm a Virgo moon, and Virgos tend to be very analytical, and they like facts, and they like things very neat. And that's how I approach having emotional discussions and also like identifying my emotions. I'm very analytical about it. I do a lot of research. I try to like be really in tune with my body and what's happening so I can accurately explain and also understand other people's emotions.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know much about Aquarius, but Leos tend to be really fun. I love Leos. Traditionally, Leos like to be the center of attention. They will a lot of times do it for the plot. And they tend to make a lot of friends everywhere they go because they're just like always down. They're like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do the thing. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say they're always outgoing, but they're just a lot of fun and they're always willing to try stuff. which very much feels like what I know about you.
Well, thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored. So Bo, yeah, very Bo. I remember looking up the Libra description 1,000 years ago, and it just was so not me. Like I always find these things interesting as like an exercise in introspection, you know, like you kind of like learn something about yourself and trying to find yourself in this description, if nothing else. And like, I just couldn't. It's like Libras are the life of the party, like, and they have a ton of friends, and all they want to do is hang out with people, and they need to learn to be more frugal. And it's like, I am like pathologically frugal. Like I have trouble like buying my groceries emotionally, and like I don't I am not that social. I was really struck by, because I was like, usually these things are supposed to be like, the whole thing that people say is like, oh, everything's vague enough that you can just kind of paste yourself onto any of these. And it's like, I can't. I can't paste myself to this.
As your sun sign, that's just probably how people perceive you, right? So like, think about how you interact with chat and like the way that you do your streams. Your streaming presence is very outgoing, right? You're very bubbly, you're very happy, you're very right, exactly. Yeah. So like that could be where the relation is, but there's so much, because it's not just about like your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, yada yada yada. It's where they're located in your chart, because each of the houses represents a different aspect of your life. So like, one is so love, deep. One's, dude, I was telling you, man, it's so much. It's so much.
What are you?
It is very interesting, though.
What are you in the corporate astrology? The like, EST.
I know which one you're talking about. I don't even remember. We actually at work just switched to, the Clifton Strengths Finder.
What is that?
It basically, you take this test that the questions make no sense, because it's like a scale of preference, not like a how much you align with the statement, right? So sometimes the statements were like, I prefer to have a full plate at work, or I prefer to take it easy. And then the next statement would be like, I like taking long walks on the beach, and I get uncomfortable in large crowds. And I was like, what do these two things have to do with each other?
It could be both.
Yeah. So it's supposed to basically identify like your top 32 strengths, and then it condenses the top 5 and tells you like what area they fall under, if they're like emotional intelligence, TQ, AQ, all that kind of stuff. It's dumb. It's a corporate astrology, and there's no science behind it. They refuse actually to let scientists truly study these tests often. So
I have one that I made myself, and I do think it's the best and most accurate. Yeah. Okay. So just like, it's very vibes based, you know, you're just going to like follow your heart on this. But at the end of the day, this is how I will define you forever in my head. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And like, if it doesn't make sense to you, good, roll with it. Okay. So on a scale from little to huge, right? You can be little or huge or regular. Right in the middle. Would you say that you're little, regular, or huge? And this is emotionally. None of this is physically.
Oh, emotionally? Ooh. Oh gosh, the autism's kicking in, because I'm like, well, it depends. Yeah. Generally, I would say huge.
This comes from autism. It is by autism for autism. Don't worry. Okay, huge. That's what I would have gone with for you, actually. Yeah. So okay, huge. Okay, so now on a scale from piss to shit with butt as the midpoint, would you say that you're like piss, butt, or shit? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling more butt. Like I'm feeling really taint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And now would you say that you're like a boy, a guy, or a man?
Ooh, I'm a guy.
Yeah.
I'm a guy. I'll put it this way. I'm a guy that's boy leaning. Huge
butt guy right here. Huge butt guy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, huge butt guy. I could see
100%.
you as a huge butt boy, but yeah, no, you're definitely a huge butt guy. I'm a little piss man. But like, yeah.
I love Little Piss Man.
Do you see what
I'm
this
seeing
is
huge
way
shit
better
guy, and that's amazing.
than
for sure.
any personality test I ever had to take at work. So
You should put this together and sell it for like $200,000 to a business.
I'll start
I'm
doing
sure they'd love
training
it.
seminars, recognizing your true strengths. I noticed that you've got a lot of piss on your team, but you're really managing it in a shit kind of way. And I think that
Exactly.
I could adjust your management style.
Mm-hmm. I think we need to be more butt leaning.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Write that down.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I needed your business acumen to get me to this point.
Business is so silly. Like, if you've ever seen the Lego movie where Business Cat is standing on the desk just saying business, 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 that is truly what it's like to work in corporate. That's not a joke.
I work in a corporate like it's a corporate environment, but like, you know, and I'm like in the office, but I'm like the software. They're like really, really different when it comes to engineers. You know what I mean? Like there's this expectation that engineers should kind of look like shit, you know? But like if you look too good as an engineer, that's like kind of suspect, you know? So like I feel like in an actual corporate environment, they would be like, Ellie, you look like garbage. But because I'm an engineer, I'm like, I can get away with it, you know? There's like a way that you don't have to be as professional. You can be like a little gross, you know? In a way that they don't really let you get away with in other circumstances.
I'm very lucky that I only interact with internal teams, and it tends to be a lot of the same teams, so I don't have to look like a person most of the time. It's only when I'm meeting like new partners in the company, or I'm meeting like a higher up, that I'm like, all right, well, I guess I should look kind of professional.
Yeah.
Which is nice that they don't care about that. Also, some of the conversations I have on Teams would absolutely get me fired.
What are you doing on there? What are you conversing about on that hallowed holy ground?
Oh my gosh. I've actually convinced one of my coworkers to start streaming with me. And I'm trying to convince him to become a VTuber, and that whole conversation started like on our Teams call on our work computers.
Dude, I would not tell the people I work with that I'm a VTuber. I would not do that. I would not do that. You're very brave. Why did you tell them?
There's only specific people that know because they match the vibe. You know, like he's been in stream a few times, and immediately was like, circle of trust, dude, if you're gonna come in stream, don't use my government name. And he immediately just fell in with the rest of chat, and he's like, no, I belong here.
Wait, that's so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah.
When you said he immediately I was like, he dropped it. He dropped the name.
No, he did not.
No, he was responsible. Yeah, I've never had that kind of relationship with a coworker. Never. Ellie's boss debut when? Kill me. So my boss watches VTubers, but as far as I know, he does not know that I am a VTuber. He knows that I watch VTubers, but that's it.
Okay. We must protect you. If your boss ever comes in, we'll be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The problem is, like, my name is Ellie. Like, I'm not getting away with this one.
There's so many Ellies, and like,
it's a very common name. Yeah, it could be a nickname for all kinds of things.
Tell him you're using a voice changer, right? Like, he won't know.
Well, okay, yeah.
We'll gaslight him.
We'll just gaslight him.
Hi, Ellie's boss. Or everyone in chat just starts saying you're Ellie's boss, and I'm really confused.
I'm Spartacus. Yeah, there just are not that many, you know, like, robotics engineer Ellies.
Dude, you are so wicked smart. I literally was talking to a friend of mine about you, and like every time I learn something about you, you just get so much cooler.
Wait,
which I don't think is possible.
Like a streaming friend or like a
yes, well, streaming / IRL friend.
Wait, is it another robot? Another?
No.
Oh, okay, because I only know one person who's like your IRL / stream friend, and she's also a robot. So I wanted to ask, but yes,
she is also a robot.
Continue.
No. Is a fox. And I was telling her, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Ellie and I are gonna hang out, and she's so cool, and like she's so smart. She does robotics and programming, and she's like a crazy great musician, and she like knows different languages, and she like is so wicked smart on bugs. Dude, I love your bug knowledge.
Right, because you're okay. So like, I haven't done the bug facts ASMR since before the raid. So like, none of the people who are in my community now witnessed that, but you witnessed that. You remember those days.
I was. Oh, I love the bug facts. They're so great.
It was so fun. I would love to do that again. But on the one hand, I don't actually think that people want that very much. And on the other hand, it was like, oh, you're not going to find it. There actually isn't. There's no remaining, because I didn't have a VODs channel at that point. So it's all gone. But like, the amount of work that it took, like I had to basically lesson plan, like every day that I was going to do that, I had to just like compile so much information. Hey, I had to compile so much information to be able to like smoothly deliver that and like have all the pictures ready. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't okay. So I don't usually do like the fun fact style things. What we would do is like we would go through a subject like silk production in arthropods, and we would just talk about like, what do we think is the common ancestor of all silk producing arthropods? Like, why did that adaptation develop? How long ago did it develop, etc. And like, what are all of the uses for silk in arthropods now? And we would do streams like that, and it was possibly relaxing. I don't know, man. I don't know. It was whispered, if nothing else. Because, like, okay, ASMR is really complicated because, especially on Twitch, it's got like a reputation for being like, and again, nothing wrong with it, right? That's content that people love, helps people calm down, makes people feel better. Nothing against it. But, oh my God, Camo, thank you for the gifted sub to BossBot. Wicked.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to BossBot. They have given 63 gift subs in the channel.
BossBot.
So, right. Yeah, no, because it has that reputation, people would click on the bug facts and they would just be like, what is this? Like, this is science class. Why is this science class? Lick my ears, you weirdo! Title. Lick my ears! So I felt like it wasn't really what people were looking for. But like, for me, ASMR is just like, it's just calming, right? Like, it's just like a calming thing. Yeah. And like, when I couldn't fall asleep as a kid, there were like 2 things that would happen depending on which of my parents I woke up. And it's like, if I woke up my dad, he would just kind of like whisper animal facts or like just like facts about stuff to me until I fell asleep. And if I woke up my mom, she would just sing to me until I fell asleep.
Pay for the bug class if it was a thing.
So precious.
So like,
I love that.
When
that's
I
amazing.
think about like ASMR, I think about like just like kind of softly whispered, just like interesting enough that it holds your attention, but not interesting enough to keep you up kind of deal. Or like singing, like soft singing, like whispering singing.
Shut up, that's so cute. I can't. My heart.
Yeah.
It's gonna explode. I'm like the Grinch, you're making it too big.
But Twitch, I don't know. I think it's a little bit better now. Like, ASMR is a little bit more diverse on Twitch now, but for a long time, when I was doing that, people would literally, they would just come in and they would just be like, lick the ear holes. Lick the ear holes. And I couldn't do it anymore, man. I couldn't take one more lick the ear holes.
That's honestly, you can only take so many ear hole lickings, I get it.
Expired milk, thank you so much for the gifted sub.
Eventually it starts getting soggy, tongue starts getting dry. I get it. Oh gosh, I just made myself cringe just thinking about that sensory overload.
That was an evil thing to say. That was evil.
I know. I instant regurts.
What kind of content have you done? I haven't like watched nearly enough of your streams. I know that it probably isn't the same as it was 2 years ago, but like, what kind of content do you do these days?
It is. It's
the
still
same,
just like
unchanged.
indie games and indie games, horror games, and then whatever interesting conversation comes up. I'm super into psychology and mental health and just like the brain and how we think and communicate. So I tend to play a lot of games that are metaphors or just kind of follow interesting concepts, and that's what we talk about on stream. So yeah, not much has changed. I actually don't do too many just chatting. I did do a conspiracy theory just chatting with a friend.
What was it?
We were talking about the conspiracies around the eclipse.
Camo the Scottish
And all of the things that were related to everyone saying that it was the end of times and rapture. So
Wait,
we talked about
that?
Oh, dude, yeah, it was wild. Okay, so I'll try to give you the cliff notes, but there was a couple things that were overlapping around the same time as the eclipse. One of them is there was a particle accelerator, I think in Switzerland, that was scheduled to do a test the day of the eclipse. There was the path that it was going over a couple cities that were primary, like, biblical cities in one of the testaments that just like got incinerated by God for just being terrible. So again, people were like, yeah, see, it's the coming of times. And then there was the red calf. So
what's that? Who's she?
Who is she?
New Vtuber.
There is a myth that when the red calf is born, that the Lord will be reborn and a temple will be risen in honor of that. So there's this farm in Texas that's been trying to breed this red calf, and there's like really specific guidelines. Like it has to be a female cow. It cannot have a single white hair on it. It has to be under a certain age. Like there's so many things that have to like be checked. I want to say it's from the Jewish faith. I can't remember specifically, but basically a red calf was born and they went out, like the holy leaders went out and checked this cow and were like, yeah, this is it. So everyone was like, that's it. We finally got the red calf. It's the sign. So that all happened around the eclipse.
Well, wouldn't we have to wait until that guy grows up? Like, just because he's born doesn't mean he's ready to, like, do the whole thing yet. Like, I would assume
I honestly don't remember.
Because there's two of them, right? There's, like, pro-God and anti-God or whatever. Christ and anti-Christ. And you gotta have both of them. I assume they gotta be grown-ups. Like, they just can't happen between babies. That seems like a lot.
Well, I think that so the red calf essentially gets sacrificed and like ground up into something, and it's thrown in this vat with the other red cows over the centuries to symbolize the building of this temple. It's been a little while since I talked about it, so my memory's a little spotty. But yeah, that was basically the conspiracy theories. And there was one around WWE because they had like the cracked bell, Liberty Bell from Philly, and they were like, people were trying to say that because of it being scheduled on the eclipse, it was like symbolizing the fall of America.
The Liberty Bell's been cracked forever. That's its whole brand.
Yeah. That's kind of its thing.
Dude. So. One of my favorite lyrics of all time is the Leonard Cohen lyric, ring the bells that still can ring, forget your perfect offering, there is a crack in everything, that's how the light gets in. Anyway, that's mostly unrelated, but it is about a cracked bell.
Snaps all around.
Yeah, snaps all around. Anyway, that's I guess...
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, conspiracy theories are just really, really fun to read about. So,
you got any more? I don't know a lot about conspiracy theories.
I have so many.
What you got?
My favorite is So my favorites are the Reptilians because there's actually crossover with a lot of conspiracy theories and the Reptilians.
What's that?
Okay, so the Reptilians are a race of lizard humanoids that have infiltrated society, and they wear basically like these human disguises. And you can tell that they're Reptilians because they're people that give you uncanny valley, and also they have a second set of eyelids that blinks vertically.
Dude, I give people uncanny valley all the time. That's what autism is. It's just
true.
It's just autism. I'm pretty sure these lizards are just autistic people.
Yeah, just like the changelings were just autistic kids.
Yeah, no, that one I know about. At least Boss followed you. Incredible, thank you. Yeah, no, I have a theory about why there's so many autistic VTubers, and I think it's because we experience uncanny valley a little bit differently, and so the models, they give a lot of people the uncanny valley feeling, and so there's kind of some self-selection involved, and like the people who like this are already a little bit less able to tell what does and does not pass sufficiently as human.
I love that. I also love the theory behind why we get uncanny valley. That there was like a species of humanoid way back when, before we were considered humans, that was killing and eating all the other humanoids.
Well, there isn't.
So we had to develop this like. Yeah, it's just a theory, but it's still a cool one.
I mean, yeah, that is super cool, but like, it just kind of seems reasonable to me that like you'd want to stay away from something kind of ambiguous, you know? That something very ambiguous should make you feel a little bit like on edge and concerned, you know?
Oh, for sure. Like that looks like a human, but it doesn't feeling.
Yeah, like that's no good. You should avoid that, you know? That's no good. Mothman, thank you so much.
Bad, man.
Yeah, so like I never felt like that really needed like an explanation. One of the things though, for me at least, is sorry, one moment. Rondé, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And Brewis, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I feel like there is natural variation in how picky we are about how like normal something ought to look and act. And it varies culturally and by individual. And I think that very often we're sort of like, there's some negativity around people who are very, very choosy, people who find a lot of things weird and off-putting. But, you know, in a way, like, they're there to protect their communities, you know? They're there to notice what other people wouldn't notice and be like, yo, that was weird, right? Like, we don't trust like that, right? So, like, for me, I don't get uncanny valley from anything. I see one of those, like, super realistic robots, and I'm like, that's Papa. That's my new best friend.
Conspiracy theory.
But, like, it's good that there are people who are pickier, you know?
Yeah, and what I love about that, too, is it's the lizard brain. I have such a love-hate relationship with the human lizard brain, honestly. Because, like,
lizard brain?
So a lot of the things that we do inherently come from what I like to call our lizard brain, which is just our natural instinct, right? So one of the easiest ways I can describe it is why we tend to naturally be adverse to change. So you'll see a lot of people who may be like complaining about their situation, or they tend to be stuck in cycles with like bad partners and just like putting themselves in these bad situations. And they're clearly cognitively saying, hey, I don't want to be here and this is awful. But the thought of changing their situation kind of activates that lizard brain, because even though you're in a bad place, you know how to survive in that environment. And if you are ever taken out of that environment, you now need to learn how to adapt to the new environment. So your survival side gets kicked out and your brain's like, no, it's safer to just stay here, even though it sucks, because we know how to do this. We don't know what's going to happen if we go over there.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I feel like this is not a popular opinion, I think sometimes that's rational. You know? Like, I feel like we act like it's always irrational to stay in a bad situation that you have the opportunity to leave, but like, sometimes leaving requires a ton of resources. Sometimes it's going to exhaust you in a way that might put other parts of your life at risk. I just kind of feel like, I don't know, we talk about like we talk about fear of change as though it is an irrational fear, but I think often fear of change is very rational, and like there are a lot of reasons to not pursue change.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like your situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Resources, support, and then, like I said, just that survival instinct, right? Like, I've lived in this life so long, I don't know how to live outside of it. So yeah, lizard brain. Lizard brain also helps a lot with our biases. Not helps, but like impacts a lot of our biases, right? Because it's survival, right? I've experienced something like this or similar to this, so I'm going to pattern recognize and adapt that to this new situation, even though it's different.
So it's just like kind of our fear response, or
Yeah, it's a fear response. There's also I see somebody's mentioning amygdala. Oh gosh, this is my bread and butter. Yeah, there's also the amygdala hijack, which basically overrides all of your cognitive thinking and you just react. Like there's so much that is naturally and biologically built into our operating systems that does have a big impact on how and why we do things.
Like what? Tell me more.
Oh my gosh, sorry. So I'm sorry, I'm reading chat because you guys are just like they're really getting into it. But yeah, lizard brain is kind of like two different versions of you because we're mammals at the end of the day. We are animals. And so biologically we are built to survive. So a lot of the choices that we make can come from trauma and are a result of our environment. And it kind of goes into that subconscious, which is the lizard brain that operates in the background where you're not thinking about it and you're just reacting. So as a human, you have to, because we have some higher brain functions, we have to be very cognizant of that lizard brain and what it's doing and how it's impacting our bodies, not just in how we think, but also how we feel. So one of the things that I learned, especially like when I got diagnosed with anxiety, is the physical like sensations in your body before something happens. Right. So like I started to notice before I had an anxiety attack, I would get like these tingles and this tightness in my shoulder. And, you know, I'd feel it like in my stomach. Right. So when you start to notice those physical sensations, that's when I would say, oh, OK, this is kind of like the precursor to those emotional feelings. So now my panic attacks and my anxiety attacks aren't so sporadic, like they're catching me off guard because I'm noticing it internally. And that is my lizard brain activating in my body before my cognitive brain can understand and process what's actually happening to cause that trigger. Crazy.
Huh.
That is probably why introverts like myself find it hard to find/talk to new people.
Well, again, okay, so first of all, I don't think that extrovert is a thing. I don't think it's a thing.
Agree.
I've talked about this before, but I just think it's such a useless false dichotomy. But like, also, the thing that people say it is, they're like, it's not if you're shy or outgoing. And like, okay, sure. The thing that they say it is then is not a thing. At least shy and outgoing are things. But yeah, no, if you're getting scared to talk to people, that sounds like more of an anxiety, shyness thing than even what people say introvert, extrovert are. And I don't think they're things. I don't know, man. I've had this conversation a lot of times with people, and I know that I don't want to take away any category that someone finds helpful for themselves, right? If someone feels like categorizing themselves as an introvert is really helpful to them, then I'm not against it. Go right ahead. But I just isn't real. It just isn't real. And like, I think part of the way that I know this is that like, you don't hear people call themselves extroverts. You do. It happens occasionally, but it's something that happens, I want to say, once a year, right? It's just not a way that a lot of people identify. And yet everyone is like, I'm an introvert. And so at some point you're like, well, can we talk about this, fellas? Can we talk about what's actually going on here? Because if this were an actual thing, because introverts, okay, people who identify loudly as introverts, the people who say they're introverts, they're always saying, oh, the world is built for extroverts. Everybody's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. And it's hard for us out there. And it's like, well, how come everyone thinks they're an introvert then?
Yes.
And I think
oh my gosh.
It's just kind of like
No, go ahead.
self-perception versus perception of others. I think there's a way that like you see other people and you imagine these people must be like loving this situation. These people must be so comfortable in this situation. And I'm the one who's weird and having a bad time. And I think that in reality, everyone just kind of isn't great at this and they're working on it. And so everyone has the internal experience of like, I'm different from these people because this is hard for me. And everyone externally looks better at it than they think they are.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's so many factors at play when it comes to that too, right? Like people don't realize that no one is paying attention to you nearly as much as you think they are, right? And that's such a big factor when we talk about those things, as well as, like you said, like everyone's feeling these things to some extent, but nobody talks about it. So we feel very alone in it. And there's like some kind of silent rule of shame around talking about certain things, which just contributes to the problem, in my opinion. And I think we should be more open and vulnerable with each other about those things to normalize it, because it is normal.
The thing that gets me is when people are like, okay, it's about what energizes you. And it's like, okay, no, sleep energizes me. Food energizes me. Being social or alone does not energize anyone. That's not a thing. Sometimes you're tired in a way where you need to see your friends. You need to be around warm people. You need a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes you're tired in a way where you need to be alone, right? Sometimes you're tired in a way where you don't want to have to see anybody or think about anything. Everyone experiences both of these things. And the degree to which they experience both of these changes a lot throughout their lives, day to day, what they went through that day. Maybe they went to a concert last night and it was really loud and now they want to be alone and that's what's, bringing them peace. Maybe, they've been alone too, right? Like the whole thing about like, and once you start defining it this way, people get into like, okay, well, I like to be alone slightly more than other people. And then you have the fact that there's totally different kinds of social interactions, right? Like I find sitting with other people, like I find like in-person interaction one-on-one extremely stressful. I hate that. I don't even like one-on-one like chat interaction usually. Like it's really hard for me. I don't have half of a conversation in me usually. It takes a lot for me to hold a conversation like that. It's not intuitive for me. So like that takes a lot out of me. But being in a room with other people, especially if I'm not expected to talk, is really soothing, and I find that really comforting. And so the fact that like people are like, well, does social interaction recharge or drain you? And it's like, neither. It depends on the interaction. It depends on who it's with. It depends on where we are. It depends on what I've been up to. And at that point, people are like, oh, well, Ellie, you must just be an ambivert. You must be somewhere in the middle. And it's like, but everyone is. But everyone is.
It is a constantly moving, sliding scale.
Like, I lived with, like, a hot girl who went clubbing all the time, and she needed more alone time than I do, right? Like, the people have this image in their heads that, like, oh, there is a person out there who parties, and they're, like, so, they like to be around people all the time. This girl does not exist. She exists only in your head. If you became friends with this girl, you would find out that, like, nah, most of the time, she's just, like, sitting in her room, hanging out, playing Pokemon. And then she does her makeup and she goes to the club and she goes dancing, right? Like we have this person that you're imagining who is this extrovert. This person does not exist.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. So this is talking about like projecting. I'm going to call it expectations. That's the wrong word, but like projecting personas onto other people.
Yeah.
Like we do that within ourselves as well, right? So I read this book called The Courage to Be Disliked, which amazing book. Should definitely read it if you have the opportunity. But basically it talks about how we frame our relationships and how we navigate through life based on the fact that everything is external. So all of our relationships with people tend to be vertical, right? Especially in our society.
Vertical?
So think like, yes. So think like if if I'm talking to my teacher, there is an inherent feeling or unspoken rule, right, that there is this hierarchy. When in reality, we're all just people, right? So when you start to look at those relationships more horizontally,
I don't know.
Right.
Power still plays a role, right? Because they can send you to the principal's office, and you can't send them to the principal's office. So I don't know if I would agree that like it's all in your head, the hierarchy.
it's not necessarily that it is in your head, right? Because there are the societal rules that we all need to follow that enforce that hierarchy, but it is the mindset of the hierarchy where we are giving this person more weight and more importance in our life as opposed to ourselves or maybe somebody that we see below us, right? So we may take that person's opinion and we may follow it even if it isn't something that is aligned with ourselves internally, because we're trying to make them proud or have ourselves be perceived in a specific way because of that hierarchical thinking or mindset is really more of what it's about. So it's just a really interesting read and a really cool way to change your perspective on how you view things. And a lot of it is
as someone who's groveled to a lot of teachers, I gotta tell you, bowing down to hierarchy has real benefits.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely cried my way through a couple of please give me extra credit.
I love to beg and humiliate myself.
Good cry when I get pulled over for speeding. Please, I'm so sorry. I'm just a girl.
Dude, I wish I was hotter. I would be on that grind.
Oh my gosh. Well, people think I'm really young. People oftentimes mistake me for being in my early 20s. So when I get pulled over, a lot of times, like, the cop just thinks I'm a dumb, like, college student. So then I start crying, and then sometimes that helps.
I just grovel really, really hard. And they're like, wow, this Boy Scout sure does respect authority.
Boy Scout?
Yeah, it's my aesthetic.
That's a vibe, honestly.
I'm very prepared.
I had to work with Boy Scouts when I worked on a dude ranch because we helped them get their like horsemanship and their outdoor badges. And let me tell you, Boy Scouts are wild.
No, guys, you don't understand. Like, morally, I think it's cool to not respect authority, but I am a groveling little coward. I am conniving and risk-averse. This isn't... My morality is a whole separate... I think it's morally okay to steal from Tesco. Will I do it? No, because I'm a good boy.
Agree. Heavy agree with all that. And if
I don't get a cookie and a gold star, I will fall apart like cereal and milk.
Devastated. Yeah. What do you mean I didn't do a good job? Do you hate me?
I hate me.
It's crying in the mirror. Do better. Oh gosh, I'm getting flashbacks to school.
Yeah.
Honestly, I struggled with that a lot, like asking teachers for help because I didn't want them to think I was stupid.
Yeah. So you're just like, I'll just figure it out myself, right? I'll just figure it out myself.
Just cry myself to sleep trying to study for hours. Mm-hmm. No, the human brain is crazy. Honestly, we're just silly little animals at the end of the day. And that's what I love about us. As complex as we are and as like crazy as things can be, we're really just silly little animals.
Yeah. No, I feel very much like I am at all times every person I've ever been, including like my baby self. You know what I mean? Like, like I just feel like, you know, when you see like a mom in a supermarket and she's like holding a baby and she's dragging a 4-year-old and there's like an 8-year-old on the end of her cart and she just looks so I feel like that's me with everyone I've ever been, you know? Like, oh my God, I'm trying to get work done and baby me is crying again.
I really love the metaphor of that too, because I feel like a lot of people don't see themselves as all of the things that they've been in the past. Right? Like, and they try to separate themselves from it, but they're all part of you. Yeah. Like, just because you're not that person anymore doesn't mean that they're still not a part of you and within you.
I wrote a song about it. I haven't released it or anything. I might at some point, but also I don't know if it's like VTuber core. We'll see. I have a weird. I think one of the funniest things is like people sometimes will say to me like, "Ellie, your songwriting has come so far in the time that you've been a VTuber," and it's like everything that you've heard from me, I wrote before afar. Like no, the first song that I released as a VTuber was really weak, and the production on the first, I would say, 3 songs I released as a VTuber were really, really weak, both because I had never produced anything before and I didn't know what I was doing, and because I was trying to write in a style that's very like simple and unfamiliar to me, you know? And so like I was writing on purpose, which isn't something that I did when I wrote my other songs. And so it's not that like I've gotten better. It's I wrote most of these things before I even wrote Afar. The reason why my earlier songs that I released as a VTuber are awkward is that I was like trying to write like VTuber music, you know? And that just didn't really work for me. So at this point, I'm sort of at like a weird sort of medium place where I'm not trying to write VTuber music specifically, but I'm maybe trying to edit my music for VTuberiness. Because I just like... there is a way that it's hard to get the authenticity of like sad woman acoustic guitar when you are anime, you know?
That's fair. But I think some of the most impactful animes have those like really deep, heavy-hitting topics. So you could definitely do it for sure.
What is VTuber music? Yeah, J-pop. I would say like when I think of VTuber music, I think of like sparkly J-pop, really recognizable sound, kind of like hashtag no filter type vocals. You know what I mean? Where they're left like a little bit janky, almost on purpose. I think about like vocals kind of weirdly low in the mix. Like repetitive. They're all about crushes because they can't be about anything else because VTubers aren't allowed to have relationships.
So that it's the yearning.
Yeah, it's only yearning. Yeah, it's all crushes all the time. Every VTuber song is just like, I've got a little crush on you, but I can't tell. You know, and like, yeah, that's VTuber music, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I love that actually.
Expired_milk01 gifted a tier 1 sub.
I honestly don't listen to enough VTuber music, so this is a whole new thing that I'm learning about. That they have their own specific sound and genre. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So like that's what I think of when I think of VTuber music. And so when I started making, I was like, I've never made pop before. I'm never gonna have another opportunity to make pop music, to make like sort of like a doofy, desperate, you know, flirty J-pop. That's not really ever been my vibe, right? I've played in like sad girl acoustic stuff, bluegrass, and like Appalachian punk, you know? Like I've never gotten the opportunity to play like a pop star, you know? And I couldn't do it. My voice just does not do that. Afar, I had to torture those vocals to make them sound like that. My voice hurt forever after that. I literally had to like change the it sped up slightly. It sped up slightly to make my voice higher and poppier. Yeah, like I had to do ungodly things. I had to like summon a demon to sound like that. Hi, Chicago! Thank you so much for the tier 3! Oh my gosh. And even then, it doesn't really sound like VTuber voice. I don't sound like VTuber voice. I mean, I've talked about this before, but I got rejected. I auditioned for one of the places, and I got rejected because they were like, can you make your voice different? And I was like, no.
Can you give me an Uwu voice, please? No, I can't.
Yeah, like I don't really get. I can't do much higher than this, you know. Like, and it doesn't sound right. If I try and go higher than this, it's like I'm higher than this, and that's not cute. That's not like no one likes that. And if I try and go lower than this, it's not like a sexy mommy. It sounds like Patrick Star. It's not good. So like I couldn't do it, man. I didn't have that on tap. So.
Oh my gosh. I definitely can't do the lower octaves. I'm the same as you. I feel like it does not sound mommy at all. But I did get very good at doing the Uwu voice because when I was a wee little cosplayer, so fun fact for those of you who don't know, I used to be a professional cosplayer.
You're so cool.
When I was just, I don't know about cool, but When I first started out, my cousin, he was like an unofficial tour guide for people coming from Japan to New York. So he had a lot of friends from Japan. And they thought that I was adorable, and sometimes I can look racially ambiguous, and they thought that I myself was Japanese. So they used to ask me to say things in Japanese as an anime girl because they thought it was really cute. And then they would ask me to do specific cosplays and repeat the lines from the animes because they thought it was really cute. So I got pretty good at doing, at the time, I called an anime voice, and now it's the UA voice.
Can I hear it? I'm kind of curious.
Yes. Give me 1 second.
Everyone, my name is Trash Queen Keezy, and it's so great to be here with you.
Whoa! Whoa! You should be in the majors. What are you doing out here?
That is not a voice changer. That is actually my voice.
My name is Trash Queen Keezy.
I can't do it. I can't do it at all.
Nelly, sometimes it just takes a lot of practice.
It just takes a lot of practice.
See, there you go.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Was I getting
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this sounds like a cartoon animal.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you have to channel when you're thinking about this. I've been doing it for quite some time, so I can go a little bit higher and get a little more cute.
That's crazy, dude. That's so sick.
Yeah. So that's really the only voice that I can do. I also do like 90s Barbie voice.
Can I hear it? I want to hear that.
Like to redeem
90s Barbie, go.
Yeah. So I want you to imagine playing a Barbie computer game on like a Windows 98. Okay, that's the voice I'm channeling.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Barbie, and welcome to my stream. It's so great to be here with all of you today. Thank you for hanging out with me, Ellie.
Hi, how did you do that?
It's a weird one, yeah.
That's so impressive. Hi,
yeah, it's
Barbie.
a weird one.
Because there's no breath in it at all. It's so full. Wait, can you do it again?
Hi, I'm Barbie. It's so nice to meet you.
That's so sick.
Let's go check on the animals. It's weird, like physically too, because I have to do the Barbie voice.
I'm Barbie.
Better.
It would
Much
take a
better.
lot of practice.
I have to like open up the top of the back of my throat.
Yeah, your
but
soft
deeper
palate
in my
is
throat.
like way up.
Yeah, but like as you go further down, you have to tighten a little bit more.
Yeah, your what? How do you call it when you like raise your Adam's apple? You know what I mean?
Yes,
That's
exactly
way
that.
up,
I know
but
what you're
then
talking
also
about.
your soft palate is way up too.
Way up.
Hi,
Yes. Yes.
Hi, I'm Barbie. I can't do it at all,
Better.
man. It's too hard.
No. So you're getting that like breathy, not breathy sound from it, and it almost kind of feels like you're better. Oh my gosh, you're getting so much better just practicing. It also kind of feels like when you're speaking, you're pulling the air from your stomach as opposed to your chest.
Okay, wait. Hi, I'm Barbie.
Dude.
Dude, voices
it's
are
all
so
about
cool.
Dude, I love voices, and a lot of it, especially when I'm practicing, is like vocal training, like thinking about my singing stuff, and like how I would normally do my vocal scales and all that. I know I'm preaching in the choir, but like just once I made that connection, it was easier for me to like refine some of the voices that I can do.
Yeah,
Which is really just those two.
I can do like I've done this before on stream. I don't know if anyone is interested in this even. I can do a really good impression of this kid I went to school with, but no one knows what he sounds like, so they just have to take my word for it that this is exactly what he sounded like. I want to be clear that this was my friend, and we would imitate each other back and forth, making fun of each other. This is not mean. He's fine with this, but this is exactly what he sounds like. Okay, are you ready?
Do it.
But Miss Biscori, that was after the fall of the Roman Empire. It's exactly what he sounded like.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me, when I was younger, I used to do my quote unquote nerd voice. And I remember I was at a gaming event and I was talking like that with my friends. And someone who I didn't know came up to me and they're like, wow, you're making fun of so-and-so's voice? That's kind of messed up. I was like, I literally have no idea who you're talking about. And they were like, no, this guy sounds exactly like that. And like an hour later, I ended up bumping into him and he really did sound exactly the way that I was talking. And I felt so bad about it.
No, you don't have to feel bad. The one who has to feel bad is whoever was like, that generic nerd voice sounds like this kid. That's the person who should feel bad. You did nothing wrong.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I was just like, guys, listen. So I was talking to my friends the other day and like, the tone and the pacing and everything was exactly that kid.
That's just me in high school. That's just what I sounded like in high school. I had braces until like recently. Like you could hear in my old VODs. I don't actually know if anything is. I still have some like TikToks I think up from when I had braces. But like it's crazy the difference. You could hear I had like the palate expander type voice.
Oh. I never got that vibe, but it is interesting to know that lore fact about you.
Guys, are we whispering? Why are we whispering? It gives me asthma. What are we whispering about?
I don't know, guys. I don't. This doesn't seem very sanitary to me.
It's very wide. It's very like talking through the sides of your tongue.
Yeah. Because you have to, because you have a freaking appliance in your mouth. But my braces are off now, and my teeth are very straight. So, frick all of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I like to eat apples.
I don't know why, but my brain just did the Wiggles song. Is that even Wiggles? I don't know.
I don't know, but it is a banger. Eat apples and bananas.
Is that Barney? Okay, I need to go jump off something tall because I was obsessed with Barney as a kid, and my child self is so upset with me. You know what? Valid. I can't unsee it now. That's it. I am now the Barney tuber. The Barney piss tuber.
Why is that part of your brand?
Okay, so I live for the bit. It's one of my favorite things to do on stream. And sometimes I will say a joke and chat will be like, bet. And I'm like, you think I won't?
You are out here in 2025 still doing it for the Vine.
Oh, absolutely. Always do it for the Vine. So I got a headset that had a mic on it, and I joked with chat that now that my headset has a mic on it, I could take them into the bathroom with me when I went to go piss.
Dude, that's my worst nightmare. That's why I don't pee when I stream. I did a subathon. I did like 8-hour days, and I just didn't.
That's so bad for your bladder.
Yeah, I'll probably die of it. Anyway, sorry, you were saying?
No, it's fine. So I said that as a joke. Oh god, there we go. So you'll start to see some cursed commands coming up in chat. Thanks to Darky.
You've never actually done this, right?
No, I haven't because we haven't hit 10K. So
thank God.
But they said how much after I said that. So I was like, listen, $1,000. If you guys give me $1,000, I'll take the mic into the bathroom and I'll keep it off mute. We'll open up a Discord channel. You guys can go in there. And it is what it is. So they did it. And they also made me drink a lot of water. They just spammed hydrate.
Wait, did it actually happen?
Yes. For the bit, I was like, yeah, I'll do it for $1,000. And then chat went, okay.
1,000? That's not high enough. Listen, I am a shameless little garbage freak, and like my price, probably for $100 I would read people my middle school fanfic. Like I just don't have a lot of pride in anything, but I don't think I have a price for that. Like I would kiss a stranger before people heard me pee on the internet.
Here's the thing. So I made a Discord channel for it, and a bunch of people from stream jumped into the voice channel. I had a mod there to make sure everybody stayed muted because I was like, if somebody starts talking, I'm not gonna pee. I'm a shy pisser. I don't know what to tell you. So I come back to my chair and I was like, there you go, guys. And they were like, we didn't hear anything because apparently the mic on this headset is garbage. I was like, well, I'm not doing it again because I did it and it was uncomfortable. So
God, it makes me so unhappy. I'm so sorry.
So that's when I became the piss tuber. And then it continued to be a joke on my channel, getting out of hand, which is why we have PGs now, where I had said that if we hit $10,000 in one stream, I will post a video of my grippers covered in socks. So the shot will just be my feet in front of the toilet with the sound of me peeing. That was the joke.
I
So
hate this. I hate this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So much. I just aged a year listening to that.
Yeah, that's my piss tuber lore. I'm not necessarily proud of it, but it's a thing.
Wow.
It exists.
Good Lord. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry that you had to hear that.
Here and I thought
we get a little weird on my channel.
I thought Toma was the P-tuber, but alas, I find out Keezy was the P-tuber all along.
Yeah, and I honestly didn't think that was gonna stick.
Oh my god, no! Jedi!
They
Do we choose the fanfic?
I mean, listen, if we're looking at fanfic that I wrote in middle school, it's gonna be like Warrior Cats and Family Guy, so, you know, none of it's good.
Yes, please.
Shut up, Keezy! Shut up!
I'm sorry. I do it for the vine, Ellie. I'm sorry.
So I guess you can choose between those. Family Guy fanfic? Yeah, it's not even about Family Guy. It's about a different Family Guy fanfic. I wrote a novella-length Family Guy fanfic about a different Family Guy fanfic. You want Gale fanfic? Okay, so this is shameful, but I have unfortunately written some Gale fanfic. It's all very clean, I want to say. First of all, I'm not filthy. It's just about little adventures. It's just like moments from his life with Tara. It's like when in the period of time when he was like figuring out what the deal was with his problem, right? With his problem. And Tara was like going out to find him magical items so he didn't die and everything. I am a say-so streamer. I'm literally saying I wrote Gale fanfic and it's just like him living his life during that period of time and like figuring out what's going on. Why? Why would you assume it would be that problem? First of all, it doesn't matter. He's been stuck in a tower for a while anyway. Who would it have even affected if he had that particular problem? I'm pretty sure he was more worried about the whole bomb in his chest problem. Do you know Gale?
Yes, Baldur's Gate.
I love him.
Gale reminds me of a guy that was weird to me in high school, so
No!
I have a love-hate relationship with him.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, like good weird or bad weird?
No, bad weird.
Oh.
No, bad weird. Yeah. The not cool kid that was in the anime club weird.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I probably would have had a crush on that guy in high school. But, you know, I was like a baby in high school and also a boy. Okay, wait, have you seen Over the Garden Wall?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, you know the
Sorry,
girl
I
who's
have a
like,
story about that, but go ahead.
you know the girl who's like, you could hold my hand, Jason Funderburger. I don't care. You know that girl? That's me. That's literally
Yes.
me. That's me.
I high-key love that.
Yeah, that's me. So like this kid sounds like he was Jason Funderburger, and I would have been, yeah, you could hold my hand, Jason Funderburger. I don't care. Anyway, sorry, you go ahead. She even looks like me. Sorry, continue.
No, go ahead. I live for your excited fact spilling. It's so great. So when I was cosplaying, I worked for a comic book studio at New York Comic Con. I can talk about this because I have not cosplayed in a very long time, and I no longer work for that company. But they were doing different kinds of signings from the different authors. So there was this one guy. He was like quiet, kind of awkward, and he was just like sitting in the middle of our booth area because we had a spot that was big enough that they basically built like a big tent. So he's just chilling there the whole day, and I would talk to him occasionally, but I pretty much, you know, just vibe with him. So the next day, my friend comes up to me, and he's like, you know who that is, right? And I was like, oh, yeah, no, his name's Patrick. He's really cool. He's pretty nice. And he's like, no, that's the guy that made Over the Garden Wall. Now, I had just finished watching Over the Garden Wall. Yes, I had just finished watching Over the Garden Wall, like, probably 2 months before New York Comic Con, and I was obsessed with it. Like, I watched it twice. It was my thing. I got all of the comics while I was at New York Comic Con. And he was like, yeah, that's Patrick McHale. What? How do you not know that? And let me tell you, he is such a sweet bean. So, his signing was scheduled, like, right before he had to leave to get to the airport. So everyone was talking about like how they were going to have him sign stuff and put things off to the side so that way they could do it during his time period. We wouldn't have to bother him. So I had asked him, I was like, hey, would it be cool if you signed something for me? He's like, yeah, I would love to. That'd be amazing, yada, yada. So he didn't know that I had put my stuff in with everyone else's. So when he went to go do his signing, one of the staff members grabbed all of our internal stuff and just brought it to the table for us. So it's like not even 10-15 minutes before he has to leave, and he is running around the booth like crazed. So like he lost something, and he's just like darting around. He locks eyes with me, and he runs up to me, and he's like, where's your thing? I need to sign your stuff before I go. And I was like, you already did. And he goes, what? Like, yeah, I put it in with the rest of the stuff. He's like, oh my gosh, I was so scared that I didn't sign your thing before I left. I'm so glad I did it. And then he just like ran out of the booth. And apparently he was staying around because he had promised me he was going to sign something, and he wanted to make sure he did.
Oh my god, what a sweetheart. That makes me so happy because I love Over the Garden Wall. I watch it at least once a year. It makes me so happy. Literally like my favorite comfort media.
Yeah, I got all the comics, and then I also got the book that he did, Bags, which is a rewrite of the original. So that was what I had him sign for me, and it was super dope. Which actually, I just told this story at work because one of our icebreaker questions was like, close contact with a celebrity. Which has happened to me twice. That's how I met George R.R. Martin too, and I did not realize that that's who that was.
What? You met George R.R. Martin?
I did. I was in between panels, and I was walking around an artist alley with my friend, and this guy comes up to me, and he's like, wow, I really love your cosplay. Like, the detail's so cool, da-da-da. Like, we're just chilling, we're just talking, and then he kind of glances at the time. He's like, oh, I gotta get going, but you should come to my booth. Like, I'm gonna be doing a signing soon. And it would be really cool. I was like, oh yeah, for sure. And my friend was like, I cannot believe you were so casual. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, that's George R.R. Martin. He wrote Game of Thrones.
Dude, being face blind is the best. You get to play it so cool in front of famous people, and then later just be like, oh, when you find out who they were. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Can you distinguish faces?
Yes and no. I think it depends on the context in which I've met the person. Because sometimes it's hard for me to like pay attention to specific things. So if it's like a small gathering, I'm much better with faces. But like if I'm meeting somebody in some place like a convention, which can be very chaotic, like I'm looking all over the place and also kind of looking at their face. So.
Oh, dude, it's over for me. Like, I can't, like, people who have been my friends for years, I can't. If they get their hair cut really different, I don't know who that is. I have, like, a few points of data, right? There's hair and there's jacket, right? And if you change both of those things around the same time, I don't know what's literally. I was telling the story, but one of my friends, he always had a big beard, and that was like part of how I knew his face. And he shaved it, and I didn't know that. And he saw me on the street, and like we were very close friends. I want to be clear, like this was normal behavior. And he like saw me from a distance and ran up to me and like scooped me up in like a hug. And I had already gotten my wallet out because I thought I was being mugged.
Oh my goodness. I feel like something like that though, like beard shaving, is very dramatic because like you've never seen the rest of that person's face.
Well,
I feel like that's a very fair.
dude, I literally had, like, when we met, he didn't have a beard. He like grew it out during college. Like, I just can't really, I don't know faces.
I'm so bad with names. I'm so bad with names. And people will come up to me and they'll be like, oh my gosh, Kizzy, hey. And I'm like,
Yeah, girl.
oh.
You. Classic you.
This guy.
This guy.
Just silently hoping someone else in the conversation will casually drop this person's name.
Yeah, you start pulling out the like dad driving his son's friend to soccer practice titles. You start like, yeah, you got it, champ.
It's a really great point, sport. All right, kiddo. Well, I'm gonna just.
Ellie, vulnerable to the peekaboo gambit. Yeah, I am a woman of less object permanence than most people, I think.
Do not do the blanket challenge with Ellie. We will short circuit her.
I've talked about this, but it's like I get so irrationally happy. It is my favorite thing. There are very few people who I would trust to do this with me because it is embarrassing. But I love it so much when someone pretends they can't see me. Like, I love to hide under a blanket and have someone be like, I wonder where Ellie is. I don't see her in this room. Like,
That's so cute.
I'm looking everywhere and I don't see her anywhere. I don't know what it is, man. It's like my favorite thing. It makes me so freaking happy.
Oh, that's adorable. That's like one of those like little whimsical things that people do. Like when I bump into inanimate objects, I say, excuse me.
Oh. That's good. You wouldn't want to be impolite to them.
For sure. Or if something's not working, I just say, you had one job. Like...
Even if it had a lot of jobs, you know?
Oh, yeah. It's a very versatile item, but you had one job. I read somewhere somebody said when they place items down on like a table or desk or something, they say, hold this. And I have adapted that because it's so cute.
That. Everybody yells at the printers at work. You have to do that. That's in the user manual. If you read a printer manual, something no one has ever done before calling me to ask how their printer works, you would see that it says to yell at the printer.
Getting a printer to work is like doing the most complex ritual one can imagine.
Yeah, it's like summoning a demon to do your bidding, but your bidding is like a flyer.
Yeah. Please, I just need one copy.
It's such a ritual for one flyer.
Gosh. And then you gotta like take them apart. Why are printers so modular? But also, thank goodness printers are so
Modular.
Modular, I mean.
Yeah,
yes,
I got you. No, I say words wrong all the time, and I appreciate being corrected. I don't know if people do. I should probably check first, but still.
It's fine. I can't read, so. Yeah, it's sometimes working with a printer, I'm just like, how did this paper even get here? Do you even have a space to fit this paper in? And it's truly impressive. It reminds me that anything is possible.
Yeah. My niece and nephew have been really into printing lately, because my sister went from working at a school that like tightly regulated how much stuff you printed to working at a school where you can print as much as you want. So now every time I go over, they're like, "Look what we printed," and they've just got like a stack of garbage that they printed, and it rocks, man. It rocks. It's so good.
There's nothing more exhilarating. I remember that feeling, like being a kid and having access to a printer with no limits.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then you would like put a bunch of stuff on your like binder and use like packing tape to like seal it.
And you're like, this is like stickers if I was rich. I'm sticker rich.
Yes. Oh
How's my
goodness.
niece's business going? It's going well, I think. I don't know. She's probably forgotten it exists because she's a baby, but she has a business where you can tell her an animal and 2 colors, and she'll draw that animal in those 2 colors. What she charges for this varies. She's been a little businesswoman about it. It's really cute. But again, because she goes through things so fast, like she's probably over it by now. Probably next time I go over there, she's gonna be like, my new thing is lizards.
I love that. Also, shout out to the little entrepreneur. Get your bag.
She made herself a tiny little profit. At my grandma's birthday party, she was like going around to everyone like, how much would you pay for a blue and yellow armadillo?
And she's a hustler getting her own leads. Okay. Marketing queen.
I love her so much. I miss them. I haven't gotten to spend as much time with them because I've been so busy lately. But when things calm down, I'm gonna hang out with those kids a little more.
Heck yeah. Kids are great because they're learning how to be people. And that's always so entertaining.
And they're so bad at it. They're so bad
at it.
The thing that they've been on about, because like my niece and nephew are autistic because my sister is autistic and her husband is autistic and everybody in my freaking family is autistic, right? And like that's how that works. Anyway, but like they've been working with my nephew on like people skills, right? And so the thing that they do now is like, that was a little surprising when he does something that's like horribly inappropriate. That's the new thing, is like, hey buddy, do you think that would surprise people? Or do you think that wouldn't surprise people?
I'm going to use that during my next Teams meeting. Thank you.
I've been using that with myself. It's just like, oh, that was a little surprising, wasn't it, Ellie? That was some surprising behavior you displayed, wasn't it?
My goodness. Self-parenting is really entertaining.
Self-parenting? What is that?
Like kind of I imagine it to be like how you just described, right? When you do something, you're like, that's a little surprising, right? Just talking to yourself the way that you would a little kid, about things. I also do that. So I had a really big problem with like self-depreciating humor, and I've worked really hard to like that. Yes, thank you. And I've worked really hard to be better at it or get better at it. And one of the things that I do is I'm just like, Casey, you're such a silly little guy. What are you doing? What are you doing there?
Casey, what are you doing?
What are you doing there? Kind of like I'm talking to a dog who's kind of doing something maybe it shouldn't, but I just want it to be really happy. So, what are you doing down there?
That's what I've been trying to do that with bodies. I've been trying to do that with my body and also with everybody's body. Is like, I think it's kind of fun to be like, oh my god, you're such a funny shape, but like that doesn't need to be like my value. You know what I mean? Like, like to not just be like, every body is beautiful, every woman is a goddess, which just like, I don't know, for me at least, that just never resonated, right? I'm sure that there are people for whom that is helpful, but like, okay, I think it's weird that like a prerequisite for mental health, if you're a girl, is that you have to think you're beautiful. Like if you're talking about like like people will be like, no, you're beautiful. You need to understand and it's like, no, dog. I'm kind of dorky. I'm a little awkward looking. I've literally always been. I do not hate this about myself. I don't have any self-worth riding on this, and I'm good with it. And so like I kind of enjoy being able to say kind of like doofy things about my own appearance without it being like, oh god, I look terrible. I look so weird. You know, without it being like a judgment, but also without having to like couch that or quiet myself about it to sound like I, you know, because like I don't aspire to beauty. And I think that a lot of people don't, you know? And like, I don't know, man. I've got like, I've got kind of a little buck teeth thing going on. My mouth is enormous. It's like half my face. I can fit my whole fist in my mouth. Did you know that?
That's super impressive, actually.
Yeah, I got a huge freaking mouth. And like, I would just much rather like brag about how crazy huge my mouth is than like be like, all mouths are beautiful, including my mouth. I just find that so freaking tiresome. Like, dude, I do not care. I've been awkward looking for years. I've been awkward looking my whole life. I don't know. If I were suddenly hot, I wouldn't know how to conduct myself. I think I'd get into trouble.
The way you said that was very, it puts the lotion on its skin. You have a big, beautiful mouth, and all mouths are beautiful.
No, but like literally,
I love that take.
People will tell you to do that. They'll be like, no, it's perfect. You're perfect. And it's like, I am perfect. And my mouth is huge.
Two things can be true at once. I like to look at people as art. Like abstract art. So like there's some art pieces that are just like not for me, and that's okay. It's still art.
Yeah.
They're just not my vibe. All art is good art. I'm just not down with all of it, and that's okay.
For me, it's like cats. You know how when you see a cat and it's like old and weird and it's got got one tooth missing and it's like a weird look and you're just like, oh my god, I love you weird guy, right? And that's how I feel. Yeah, nerd
for you.
That's how I feel about people too. And like that's what I'm practicing with bot is like I'm a kind of weird looking cat, but that's the best kind, you know?
That's so true. I love that vibe so much better than my art thing.
No,
so I'm stealing
I like
that.
both.
Thank you.
Because I like that it's like, no, that one's not for me. I didn't get what I want at all.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's cool, I guess. Go, do you, bro?
I'm sure you had an artistic statement. I'm not really grasping it. Maybe there's like an abstract from the artist I could read.
Oil on canvas.
God. Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm sorry. I'm having so much fun. But I love that. I love that we're all a little Picasso-y.
Yeah.
Statement.
That's really cute. We're all a little Picasso-y. I mean, like, yeah, faces are funny and people are made of skin. Like, we all got hair on us and we, like, sweat. Like, I can't imagine a weirder animal. It's like if you took a dog and bent it wrong, you know? Like, it's such a stupid shape for an animal to be, you know? We're not.
Oh my god.
We don't move
We
normal.
make no sense. We make zero sense.
It's so funny, man. Like, I don't know. Like... Not all of us have hair. You got hair somewhere on you, man. Like, listen, I lasered all the hair off my body in college. Like, I don't got no more. But like, you still got hair on your head, I guess. You probably still got eyebrows. Even if you have like a lot, like alopecia, freaking all over. You know, there's probably like in most cases, in very few cases of alopecia is it entire. You know, in most cases, you still got hair somewhere on you. But if you don't, then I do personally apologize. I should not have made the assumption.
Regardless, you have the hardware for hair, right? You have hair follicles.
Yeah.
But just because they're not working doesn't mean that you don't have the potential for hair.
You got holes in your skin for that. Guys are shaving their eyelashes off for masculinity? That's really bad. They're going to get sweat in their eyes. Has anyone told them that you have eyelashes to keep the gunk out of your eyes and you're going to get more gunk in your eyes if you shave them off?
I love the idea of the little eyelash worms.
Yeah, they're my friends.
I love my eyelash worms. Don't cut them off.
They'll be homeless.
They will. They'll be unhoused.
Chasing perspective. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you so much. Yeah, do you ever like squint and try and see them?
Yes, and sometimes I feel like I can, but I also think that's me just like thinking that I can.
But I like to imagine. I like to imagine that I can see them, that I can look upon them.
Envisioning, I'm perceiving them, yeah.
Dude,
the unhoused eyelash worms. Sorry.
No. Chasing perspective, thank you so much for 300 bits. I just like...
What were you going to say?
Oh, I just think that like, what are you going to do with looking more masculine? Like, what do you do with that? What do you
what does that even
use
mean?
that for? Well, like, okay, even assuming that there is like a thing that is like to look masculine, and if you achieve that, everyone will look at you and say, wow, that guy looks so masculine. What do you do with that? What does that translate into for you? Like, what's the return on that investment? Because that seems like a lot of work for like I don't know. Like maybe an old lady on a plane is like, you look very handsome. Like, I can't imagine what you do with this.
Hi, young man. You look very much like a young man.
Right? I don't obviously get women. Yeah, because women love an eye infection. Women, okay, listen. There is no woman alive who's like, eyelashes, get them out of here. I hate that. I hate eyelashes. I promise if you shaved your eyelashes off, every single woman would be like, oh, that was like a really big choice.
That's a choice.
Whoa, oh my gosh, Belle! Hey, girl! Oh my gosh! Hey, what? Oh my god! Hi. Okay, so, hi, Belle! Hi, everybody! We were getting really silly just now. We were talking about, apparently there's like guys who are shaving their eyelashes off to look more masculine, and I don't even want to pick on them. I just really, I worry about them, you know? I worry that they're not getting the return on investment they were hoping for.
Yeah, like shaving your eyelashes for aesthetic and then ending up partially blind because of a terrible eye infection doesn't feel like a good trade.
I don't think any girl is gonna like it. Like, if anything, I think she's just gonna be like, wow, that was a lot of work, you know? It also isn't gonna look natural, you know? They're not just gonna be like, oh, this must be one of those men who doesn't have eyelashes. You know, you're not gonna fool her. Also, hi everybody! Welcome, thank you so much for the follows. Oh my god, wait, I think, okay, actually, I hope this isn't leaking. I think we're gonna be doing something next week with a bunch of other people. And also, we need to figure out what happening long-term open sauce wise, but it's so good to see you. I'm sorry I've been totally procrastinating planning anything. I am a garbage girl. Oh, speaking of garbage, this is Keezy. She's a raccoon. She is a raccoon who was turned into a girl. And now she has to deal with all of the burdens of humanity. She was the first collab I ever did when I was a baby VTuber and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just like cold DM'd her like a freak, and I was just like, hello, I very much enjoy your content. Would you ever consider collabing with me? I am a small streamer. Like, it was like so inappropriate and horrible, but then she taught me how collabs work and she took me under her beautiful wings, and I said I owe her my life before, and she was like, no you don't, so I owe her $100.
No, your love is more than enough. Your love and your friendship is more than enough for payment.
Are worth more than $100.
Truly. Oh my goodness! Thank you guys so much for all the follows. Hello, Hi, it's me. I'm the garbage tuber.
Well, wait, can you change back into your raccoon form real quick for me? As like a gift?
Absolutely.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
I beg,
absolutely.
I beg, I plead, I beg, I plead, I beg. So this was the form that she was in when I initially met her. When I first met her, she looked like this. This was her. And I was...
This model does teethies, which I love.
Yeah, can you show the teeth? I want to see the teeth. It matters to me. Look at them.
Yeah.
We love teethies here.
Yeah. Can you get in the trash can for me, please?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm back home, and I love that the garbage moves.
It's so good. It's so freaking good. Oh my god, the banana physics. Impeccable.
The banana physics. Truly.
Yeah. She peek.
That's it. This is how I'm finishing this stream, in the trash can with my nanner physics.
Dude, I wish I could get in there with you. We could hang out in there.
I'll just make some room. Yeah, scooch over a little bit.
I'm climbing in.
Oh my gosh. Ellie Keezy art. It's just you climbing into a trash can with...
I heard some squeaking in here. I believe there's a friend to be found. She is beauty, she is grace, she got banana on her face.
Yeah, it's my new cologne. Ode the Nanner.
Dude, wait, have I told you about my perfume?
No, please do.
Okay, I wear a perfume every day now because I never did before, but it's so beautiful and I just want to smell it all the time, and it's just like for me, like I just like smell it all the time throughout the day. But the name of the perfume is so bad. But I can't not wear it because it's the most beautiful thing I've ever smelled. But the name of the perfume is waifu.
I love that. I love that so much.
It's the worst thing about me. I have it in my purse. I have waifu perfume. And if it ever fell out at work, I think I'd just have to quit. I think I'd just have to quit on the spot.
Just like pronounce it completely wrong, so that way when people ask you what it is.
Oh yeah, it's waifu. It's a flower.
Yeah,
it's a flower in southern France.
Yeah, a French flower. Waifu.
Waifu.
You probably never heard of it.
You probably never heard of it. Yeah, I'm a woman of refinement and class. And I know a lot about it's a type of Japanese hibiscus. Tape over the label. I tried to scratch it off, but it was stronger than I was, and I gave up.
Oh, the label's throwing hands, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to budge. It was tight on there. I even used a little Goo Gone. It didn't work. So yeah, now I wear waifu perfume every day, like a freak.
No, I have a perfume. I think it's just called Her. I got it. Okay, so when I moved into my new place, the people who lived here before were like massive hoarders, and the landlord gave them like 90 days to like store their stuff on site before he like got rid of it, which is very generous. And they like refused to come get their stuff, so we were like, okay, let's go through it. And I found this perfume, and I'm very much like you. I just wear it at home because it smells so good that I'm just like, gosh, yes, please get in my nostrils.
Dude, I love smells. I love to smell stuff. I love to go to the CVS and just smell all the deodorants, every single one of them. You ever do that? It's the freaking best, man. Old Spice Aqua Reef. I bought it just to smell it. I don't wear it. It's a boys' deodorant. I don't want to smell like boys. I already look like boys. But I have this deodorant just to smell it. I keep it in my bedside drawer.
Okay, so what is like your weird comfort smell?
Old Spice Aqua.
Okay, mine is not the smell of a fire going out, but specifically the smell of a match after it goes out.
Oh, I love
very
that
specifically
smell.
that. Yes. Oh gosh, I could just
that smell.
all the time.
Gasoline is kind of a good smell. Dude, when I would work, I used to work at a gas station and then at Hollister. And after those two jobs, you have a smell that is unique. You smell both like gas station and Hollister. And they're both such strong and different smells.
They're just like fighting for first place.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I recently learned about like signature scents for like super high class hotels.
Yes.
And how they have like a perfume system that they just pump through their air vents,
just
so
like
that
at
way
Hollister.
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that's crazy, commissioning a very specific, unique smell so you can just dump it on people 24/7.
So that they can cease to smell it after like 20 minutes, but smell like it when they leave your hotel. Yeah, exactly.
Nose blindness is crazy.
And nausea.
You
You love
trying
the
to
smell
think,
of
like-
WD-40. I wish I loved the smell of WD-40. I'd be happy all the time. I smell that stuff all the time. I don't feel like the smell is particularly good or bad for me. I feel like WD-40 is like a pretty neutral type smell for me.
I would agree with that statement for sure.
I really love the smell of like laser cutting plywood. I love the smell of laser cutting plywood. It's like, that's a good smell. That's a good smell. I've talked about this before, but like when you're like doing a lot of Loctiting, you often get a little bit of Loctite in your mouth by accident, and Loctite tastes upsettingly good. The blue stuff. The blues, to be clear, the blue stuff. It tastes like the sweetest candy God ever created. And I don't eat it on purpose. I want to be clear, but like, it's weirdly sweet and good. I kind of hate how weird
Forbidden
and sweet
drop
and
top?
good it is.
Man, they used to make some
campfires,
weird
man.
candies.
Yeah, dude, what the frick was Baby Bottle Pops? I didn't think that was
for
real. I was
Yes.
like, was that like a joke? And my sister was like, no, this was 100%
No.
a thing. People did this. People had these. Why?
Yeah, Baby Bottle Pops, the drop pops, like I was saying, where it's basically a baby bottle pop, but you get like a container of like the liquid kind of was like the inside of a Gushers, but a little more watery, and you would add it to your lollipop for extra flavor, almost like when you get a kicker for a drink.
Dude, do you remember what was the thing where it was like you'd be given like a flavorless white sugar stick and you'd like dip it in the powder?
Dipsticks. Yeah.
Those were crazy.
Oh god, I
Those went
love
crazy.
those.
What's your favorite candy?
Oh, my favorite candy. My favorite chocolate candy is Reese's. My favorite gummy candy is Swedish Fish. Unless I'm watching a movie, then it's Twizzlers.
Swedish Fish are incredible.
So
Swedish
good.
Fish are fantastic. There's a syringe full of sour goo. I want the sour goo syringe. I want
Ooh.
that badly. That sounds amazing. Laffy Taffy? Really? That's terrible. Ew. Okay, I do like Twizzlers. It is eating a scented candle, but it turns out I like that. I like peach rings.
Yeah.
I like gas station peach rings. Those are my favorite.
Oh yeah. I also really like Gummy Sharks.
Yeah, because, okay, I just kind of enjoy when it's like an animal, you know? I don't know. I think that's like the latent carnivore in me that never got to express itself. Because, like, I grew up vegetarian. I've talked about, I have now eaten meat twice in my life because once when I was little, I ate a dog kibble. And that's meat. And then for my subathon, I ate a chicken nugget and it tasted gross.
You know what? That tracks. Chicken nugget for sure.
So like I feel like it's the carnivore in me. It's the unsatisfied carnivore in me that craves the like animal shaped foods. Right? Especially something chewy, right? When you like eat the gummy shark, you're just like, you know, and you bite its head off.
It's so exhilarating. However, I did used to feel really bad as a kid eating animal crackers.
Wait, why?
Because like you bite their little heads off, and it's different because like it's not like the gummies, right? So you get that stretch and you're just like, oh, teehee. It was something about that aggressive snapping of their bodies that I was like, oh, I feel bad.
Yeah, it's no fun if they just snap, you know? You wanna have to like, you wanna have to wrestle with them, you know?
I want to work for my meal.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Do you feel bad
remember
about eating M&Ms? Why would someone feel bad about eating M&Ms? That's a wild question.
I like to crack my M&Ms. Like I like to take the coating off and eat that and then have the chocolate. Like so when I put it in my mouth, I like put it vertical and I crack the exterior first. And that seems like a very like neurodivergent thing. I also used to eat Swiss rolls very particularly.
What's
where
a
I would
Swiss
take
roll?
They're like the chocolate little cakes that have the filling that are like rolled up.
Mhm.
Also kind of ho-hos. But I used to like to take the hard shell off, and then sometimes I would unroll the actual cake itself and then eat all the cream and then eat the cake because
this is
I was a strange little kid.
This is the freaking deep lore. I think I talked about this once on stream, but it was a long time ago, so I'm really paving the way for a bunch of bad interactions in the next few days. The way I eat pizza is top down. I like to take all the cheese off and roll it into a little ball and then eat that.
Yes!
And then I like to lick the sauce off the bread and then I eat the bread.
Oh my god, you are literally the only other person I know that does that.
Really? You
People thought I was crazy. Yes,
way.
deconstructed
No
pizza.
way.
Yes. And sometimes if I'm feeling real spicy, I'll actually scrape the soft bread off of the hard crust.
With my teeth, yeah, where you just kind of like,
Yes,
yeah.
I have tried to talk to people about that, and they look at me like I am insane.
This.
Feel so seen.
Oh my gosh, where do you unsubscribe? Not there,
Where
Couch,
do I
not there.
unsubscribe?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've disappointed all of you. But yeah, no, that's like my favorite way to eat pizza. Oh yeah, splitting the goldfish like vertically, where you like bite at the seam to like split them into two, and then you put your tongue in the empty hollow of the like, you know? Yeah.
Sensory. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's so funny that like I have all of these experiences, and it did not once ever cross my mind that I might be neurodivergent.
Dude, I was
like, this is normal.
I was thinking, like, I have no idea if I would have been diagnosed in a different situation. Like, for one thing, both of my sisters had already been diagnosed, and so, like, there was an eye on it, right? And then, like, the big thing was that, like, my school switched to a uniform. And, I just, like, couldn't handle it, and I just, like, started taking my clothes off in class on a regular basis, and they were like, that's not okay. Like, they gotta figure something out with that. And I was like, if we had never switched to a uniform, I genuinely have no idea if I would have been diagnosed that young. But, like, my sisters already were, so, you know.
I remember my journey on getting a diagnosis. I was talking to my parents, and my dad looks at me very seriously, and he goes, maybe I'm a little autistic. My dad had a special cup for 35 years. You couldn't even see the logo on the cup. It was just colors by the time my mom finally threw it out.
No,
and he
would she do that?
Yeah, she did, because she's my mom. Anyway, she did that, and he was devastated for months. And she had been trying to find like another cup to replace it. So now he has a special fork. But if the fork isn't clean, if the fork isn't clean, he will go and he will wash the fork specifically so he could eat with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if my spoon is dirty, I'll just starve to death.
Yeah, either starve to death or get up the spoons to wash it. I get it. And it's because it tastes better on that specific utensil. I understand.
Yeah.
Also, it just feels nice.
Yeah, no, like I like my spoon. That's what I just like having a routine, and like my spoon is part of my routine. And if part of my routine is interrupted, I can't like do the rest of my. I find it very hard to adjust my routine, so I just kind of stand around like an NPC. Like I need to use this, but it is not usable right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, getting stuck in that buffering state is the worst.
Yeah. So like I would, most of the time I get done the things that I need to do. But yeah, I still struggle with a lot of sensory stuff. I mean, yesterday I like had an awful time at work where I just like suddenly was very aware of my clothes on my skin, and I had to go into the bathroom and take all of my clothes off and just like sit there for 10 minutes just completely naked before I could put my clothes back on and go back to my desk and, be a functioning adult again.
That is so real. Honestly. And like trying to explain this to some people, especially those who like have never felt those things.
Oh God,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
I had to explain to my boss like what executive dysfunction actually feels like, and I was like, that thing that stops you from putting your hand on a hot stove? That is you asking me to do something that I'm having executive dysfunction with. You're asking me to override that feeling to put my hand on the stove.
Yeah,
and that is awful.
I don't experience a lot of executive dysfunction, so that's a really interesting analogy to have in my tool belt to understand. Because I don't really experience it much. Interesting. Yeah.
That feels more on the side of the ADHD than the autism. I'm definitely more ADHD than autism on the spectrum for sure, and I have both types of ADHD. So it's a party in here at all times. So it's just really interesting to like see the crossovers in the experience. So Synchronicity, I'm actually doing a webinar for my company
webinar.
on. Yes. on overlapping symptoms like that. So people kind of have a better concept of like what that means. And one of the examples I use is eye contact, right? So like not being able or having issues with eye contact as an autistic is internally different than having eye contact issues as somebody who has ADHD. But externally, they present the same as somebody who, you know, has problems with eye contact.
Interesting. I mean, I don't like, it's hard to separate out what's what, right? Like I'm both. I've been on ADHD meds forever, which don't alleviate your ADHD, right? Like they don't make you less ADHD.
No.
They just make you more capable of sitting at your desk without chewing your arms off. So like
Yes.
I like
that analogy.
I couldn't possibly point to like what parts of eye contact difficulty come from which. I just know that eye contact to me feels like incredibly intimate. Like it just feels really, really intense.
Yes. Yeah. So that my understanding from like the research that I've done and like talking with some of my doctors is eye contact is more of that feeling, like a physical feeling of discomfort. Like could be very intimate, maybe just like a creepy crawly feeling could manifest with that. And with ADHD, it's more about helping the thinking process. So by struggling with eye contact and looking around as you're talking, that helps you stay focused on the conversation, basically acting as a secondary stimulant for your brain. So that way you can focus on what it is that you're saying and what the conversation is about. Because if I sit there and I try to make myself look at you and make it seem like I'm paying attention to you.
I can feel you looking at the eyes of my model. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I am going to completely miss everything that you're saying, right? It's to me, I'm going to hear that you're saying words and I'm not going to process any of them because I'm going to be like, is this good eye contact or is this too much? Should I nod and maybe smile? And do I look weird? Is my face making a weird thing? Like that's what I'm focused on internally, but externally, it seems like I'm listening.
It just feels, to me, it feels almost like holding a pull-up. It's like you're just like keeping your eyes there. You're keeping them there. To me, it's like if you when you talk to someone, you're supposed to lick their hand, right? You trade hands and you both just keep your tongues on each other's hands and you can't take them off, right? That's what it feels like to me. It's like this is incredibly intimate, uncomfortable, unpleasant, and really hard to maintain.
Oh, that explanation just made me want to peel my skin off.
Yeah, I don't want your tongue on my hand. I don't want my tongue on your hand. Keep your eyes on your shoes until marriage.
You're upset. We're all upset. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm saving eye contact for marriage personally.
As you should.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just really interesting that like there are all of these overlapping symptoms that externally present the same, but internally may like feel different depending on what type of neurodivergent you are.
That's really interesting. It never occurred to me at all.
Yeah. Another one is like manic episodes. So like the ADHD side of me will experience a manic episode, but that is going to feel and manifest completely differently than someone with BPD having a manic episode.
Huh. I don't like, I know oh man. Without talking about a part of my life that I don't talk about on stream because it is not mine to talk about. I am very familiar.
You don't have to if you're not comfortable.
No. Because I just said like I'm not going to talk about that, but like I am very familiar with being close to someone who experiences like, you know, bipolar manic episodes. But my understanding is that like a lot of people experience just like hypomania or hypomania within ADHD, right? And that's like very different, right?
Yes. And that's what makes diagnosing these things so hard, right? Because it takes you as the patient to have a certain level of knowledge to be able to describe it to your healthcare provider in a way that's going to help them accurately diagnose you. which can be difficult to identify. Just like we talked about with the eye contact, right? Like, the way that you experience that discomfort with the eye contact, I do feel that way sometimes, but most of the time it's the way that I described it. So it's almost like this fluctuating experience depending on the situation that I'm in. And it's only because I've tried to do a lot of research and I've, talked to therapists and stuff about it to help me identify it. But somebody who it just knows that they're having a hard time going to their doctor looking for help is not going to know how to talk about this in a way that they're not going to be like, yeah, you probably just have anxiety.
Yeah, that's like they love to tell you that if you're a girl. If you're a girl and you go to the doctor for like anything wrong with you, they love to tell you it's anxiety. They love to do it.
Oh yeah.
I've never had a manic episode. I've never experienced that. But I have experienced like going to the doctor and being like, hey, my ankle hurts, and they'll be like, it's probably anxiety.
Absolutely. Hey, my stomach kind of hurts. Yeah, it's probably anxiety.
Yeah,
no, I have anxiety. I know what that feels like.
Oh my god, right? Like, and the thing is, like, people don't believe me when I say this. I'm not a very anxious person. I'm pretty risk avoidant. I'm pretty risk averse, right? I don't love taking risks. I don't get a lot of thrill out of it. And I am well aware of the way that I come off socially. And so I tend to avoid social situations where I know I'm not going to be like confident. Not because I'm like, oh God, everything will spiral out of control and everyone will hate me forever if I go there, right? But because it's like, yeah, I'm going to be awkward if I go do that. And like, I don't want these people to see me as awkward because like, it will be better for my career if they don't, So I'm not going to go on that outing because I would be awkward there and it would lower their opinion of me, right? So I don't. Yeah. I'm not a very anxious person. And I think people have this idea that I'm like, oh, I'm so scared of people. I hide from people. And it's like, no, I'm cautious and I keep to myself. I've definitely experienced anxiety. I think a lot of us have experienced it, but I am not. I don't have anxiety, right? And like broadly, that isn't like what and so it's particularly annoying talking to any kind of professional when you're like, I have this issue where I have to, right? Like being having sensory issues around loud noises will often be attributed as like, oh, you're anxious, right? It makes you anxious. And people try and prescribe anxiety type things for these. Like people will be like, oh, exposure, right? You need to understand that it's not scary. And it's like, no. This is a physically unpleasant thing for me. Exposing me to it will just be physically unpleasant, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to learn that it's not scary because I'm not scared of it, right?
Yes, exactly. It's a sensory issue, not a emotional anxiety issue or even a trauma response. It's truly a sensory response.
The amount of times that people will assume that it's like some kind of trauma thing and they'll like ask you to dig and it's like, nah, dog, like, I don't know, some better things and some worse things have happened in my life, as with all people, but no, I just don't like loud noises because it's really unpleasant.
Yep, there's certain sounds that make me feel like somebody is pulling my spine out of my back in the worst way.
Oh my god, when people click their nails. I don't know how else to explain it. It literally made me throw up. Like, I hate that sound. It makes me so angry. There was this girl who was like nothing but sweet to me. Her name was Fizza, and she was super pretty. And she was just like always really sweet to me, and I hated her. I hated her with like a violent passion because she would clean under her nails during class, and I would just like hear the clicking sound, and I would just be like, oh, I hope you fail out of school.
Upon you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, for me it depends on like the sound. I'm very skittish, so loud noises tend to just scare me more than like overwhelm me unless I'm already kind of like at my threshold. Like if I'm already starting to feel dysregulated and there's like a loud consistent noise, I'm like, just take my ears. I don't need them. and I have a friend who's very, very sensitive to sound, and she and I have talked about it. She's like, yeah, I just thought it was a thing that like everybody doesn't like those sounds, and I was like, no,
Dude, that's like one of the most affirming things is realizing like, no, this is just more unpleasant for me. Like, I know everyone hates walking in the rain, but like when I walk in the rain and my clothes are wet and sticking to me, it is such a horrible, vile sensation that it can make me throw up. And like it is just like, it is unbearable. Like I will just cry. Like I can't help it. Like just like walking in the rain with no rain clothes on, just like my regular clothes getting wet denim, I will just cry the whole time. And like I can't. It's so awful. I would much rather be in pain. I would much rather just like get a paper cut every 30 seconds than experience that. And so like I hate this so much. It is so unpleasant. And for years, I just thought everyone else was really tough and stoic.
Yes.
Like, I would just be like hustling through the rain, and I would just be like, "Oh, why am I so pathetic?"
So
and like,
strong.
I am pathetic in fairness, but.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I feel that wholeheartedly. Like this wet denim. Also, for me, barefoot. The only times that I ever am barefoot, like no socks, is when I'm in the shower and when I go to sleep. Dude, at all times, I have socks on.
I was talking about this recently. Okay, I'm out of this phase. This was disgusting. This was girl failure trash years. I did have a period in college where I just like could not handle being barefoot ever, even in the shower, and it was gross. It was so gross.
Okay, but let me just say that I've thought about it depending on the texture of the floor of the shower.
Yeah,
okay?
Because like anything, the soles of my feet, they should not be known. They should not be perceived. They should not perceive. Right? You should not look upon them, and they should not look upon the floor. I don't like anything happening to the bottoms of my feet.
Do not even acknowledge that I have feet, truthfully. I'm so like sensory specific with my feet. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why, but like things in my feet are always an immediate no matter what it is.
Yeah.
To the point where I walk on my tiptoes a lot.
Dude, yes.
It sucks just tiptoeing around my house because I'm like, this is comfortable.
Dude, when I was little, my sister, I like asked her why she did that, and she was like, it's a princess walk. And so now whenever I'm like, Ellie, why do you walk on your toes? I'm like, it's actually a princess walk. I'm a princess.
Princess walking?
Just me and the girls princess walking.
So what I love about my landlord is he's my best friend's dad, he's my best friend's dad. So when I moved in, he let me pick all the paint that we were going to put on the walls, and he let me pick the carpets and stuff that we were going to replace. So I specifically picked a super plush carpet for floor time. And let me tell you, it's amazing.
Yeah, I have a rug for it. I love that though, because if you have a whole carpet, you can roll around a little.
Yes, it's my whole living room, and it's my whole spare bedroom and bedroom, and then everything else is like the fake hardwood floors. But yeah, I won't tiptoe on carpet.
Yeah, no,
I have noticed that.
No, I like to honestly. That's like the only thing that can touch. Like, okay, I prefer to be in socks, but even so, I'll like, when you use socks and you just like scrunch your toes in the carpet to just like get that good carpet.
Yes.
What is that? I love that.
I imagine that's what people who are like, I love to feel the grass on my feet. That's what they feel
what they're
like.
Getting out of that. Oh, that's amazing. That's kind of lovely.
What I
now
imagine.
I can understand. Because like I do a lot of trail running. Well, okay, I haven't since I broke my ankle last year. But hopefully it'll be strong enough by the time it gets warm enough. But like a lot of people who do like trail running, I mean no one's trail running like barefoot, but they wear those barefoot shoes. I hate those. I hate those. Don't put things between my toes unless we're married.
Yes. Nothing goes between my toes. Even married. Not a single
but
thing.
Jesus himself.
Nothing but the good soap and water when I'm in the shower to clean them, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do they
for
work?
Christmas,
Do
my
they
mom
work
used
for
to-
what? They work for making me hate my life. Sorry, continue.
They work for making me want to take a potato peeler to the bottom of my feet. My mom used to do this thing for Christmas where she would either get me socks or she would get me onesies. She stopped with the socks, but we've continued with the onesies, so it's really
Same!
great.
My mom got me a Stitch onesie for my birthday.
I love it so much, but it's always the footy pajama onesies.
Yes.
Because I don't always like the tight band around the ankle.
No,
like that's
no,
another
thank you.
sensory thing.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Mhm.
So one year during our sock kick, she got me a whole bunch of toe socks. And they were like the really fuzzy
Oh, no,
socks, but
no.
they were
No.
like gloves for my feet.
No! Banned!
And it was the worst experience of my life.
Dude, I love onesies though. I like exist in them all the time. When I stream, I wear a bear kigu. I have a bear kigu and I wear it when I stream. And it's wonderful.
I have a Spyro Kigu. It's so cute.
Yeah.
But I have all kinds. I have Hello Kitty, I have ducks, I have
You have
monkeys.
ducks? I want ducks.
I have ducks. I have 2 ducks. I have yellow bath ducks, and then I have multicolored ducks.
Dude, your like onesie collection, my onesie, it's like, oh, I'll have my people talk to your people. I'll have my mother
Your
talk to
people,
your mother.
yeah. I almost feel like we're 2 stamp collectors sharing our binders.
Yeah, because like I wear onesies. Okay, I have one that is like my pride in the world. Like they don't even sell this anymore. It looks like a sweatshirt. It's like so normal. It just looks like a kind of a cool normal jumpsuit type deal. Like you could actually get away with wearing this in public. It's like the only one that you can wear and it's like there were days when I just like truly couldn't leave my house easily, right? Like I could and I would if I had to. But just the whole time I would be like miserable. It would be just an effort all day to do anything, to feel anything but awful. And now that I have this thing, I can go outside any day and it's like it's such a freaking blessing. It's so cool.
I have that with a hoodie from like middle school. So I made this picture as a joke that's just a smiley face that says I hate you, yay. And we went on a trip to a amusement park and they had one of those like customizable spray paint like hoodies. And for some reason, the fabric and the style of this hoodie, it like goes past my knees. And it is so comfortable that anytime I'm in that situation where I'm like, I need my comfort hoodie.
You can still go out because like you can't wear like a kigu to go to your friend's comedy show. You can't do it, man. Like I know that you literally can, but you can't. So like having something that you can wear that makes you look like a normal person who like, you know, like has a job and votes, but also, you know, you don't want to peel your skin off the whole time. It's such a game changer.
Yes. It really is, truly. Oh, I love it.
Me too, man. Me
Honestly,
too.
this has been so exhilarating.
Dude, right? I probably should go to sleep soon because it is 10. I just looked at the clock. But
That's true. It is 10.
who are we rating? Do you
Ooh. That's a good question. Let's see who's
I
online.
didn't think about it. Twitch.tv. Oh, okay. Cha-Cha's online. Cerber is on. Oh, Shumi's on. Oh my god, wait. I have too many friends all streaming. Honey's on. Oh god.
You send me a name and I will pop it in there. Send me a link.
Okay, so Cerber's gonna be wrapping up really soon if she isn't already wrapping up. Okay. Oh, okay, wait. It looks like a bunch of my friends are all collabing with each other. So I don't know how to handle that situation. Shui and Honey are both streaming right now. I guess Shumi. I guess let's rate Shumi. Let's rate Shumi.
Okay.
Okay, so Shu Mimi, I will send it to you in the chat. I gotta find you. I gotta find your name because Shu me. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Oh my god, this was like the most fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
It really was. Thank you. I'm so glad we were able to find some time.
Me too, man. It's been way too long. Let me know if you ever want to hang out again. Ciao,
Always.
finger guns.
Always for you. Hey.
Anytime for you, BB.
Baby. My lady, tips Fedora.
Okay, goodbye, everybody. You're all amazing. Thank you so much for being here. If you were from the Bow Raid, thank you again. Thank you again to Bow, and thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. And if you are just here because you are a code bug, thank you for being here. For that reason too. Check out Kizzy. She's adorable, and I love her. Let's go raid Shelby. Okay, bye, everybody.